Rockets today, presented by Prize Picks, and the 2026 NBA Draft is upon us. The Rockets, they do not have a pick in round one, but we are live nonetheless to talk about all the NBA Draft news, analysis, rumors, plus, I don't know if y'all noticed, but a pretty big trade happened yesterday. We're definitely going to be breaking it down. We'll definitely be talking about it here on the program. So I am pumped. Are you ready to go? If you are ready, make sure to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and let me know, where are you watching from? You got me, Jeremy Chugs. We also got producer Loco Lopez on the ones and twos.
Hell yeah. Should
have a fun night breaking down the NBA Draft. Who's going to go number one? Are there going to be any more trades that happen tonight? Maybe a Jaylen Brown trade. Who knows? But let me know, where are you watching from? We are in Chat Sports headquarters, located in downtown Dallas. So let me know, where are you rocking? Where are you watching today's show from? Loco Lopez, are you excited for the draft?
I am hyped. I know the Rockets don't have a first-round pick in this draft, but I am excited because this is one of the most touted drafts that we've had in a while. So I want to see how it all unfolds.
I'm excited for it too. Is it going to be Dybantsa? Is it going to be Peterson that goes one to the Washington Wizards? We got Jared White watching from Lufkin.
Hey.
Char repping Houston, Uncle Caius, as always, watching from the granny's house.
Okay.
Derek says, what's good, my guy? Love the content and happy I'm able to catch a live. Thank you so much for tuning in to our live show. We're going to have a good time. We're going to rock it. It's going to be a chill show, right? Like, the Rockets don't have a pick tonight. As of now, you never know. The Rockets could trade up into the end of round one, maybe package those second-round picks to get a pick in the 20s. You never know. Let's see what happens. But nonetheless, like I said, we are going to be watching to see what happens in the NBA draft, if there's any more trades. And like I said, we already got started with the craziness of the NBA offseason last night with the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade to the Miami Heat. We'll break down that trade and more here on the program today. If you missed it, this is what the trade looks like. The Heat, they got Giannis and Bobby Portis. The Bucks, in return, got Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Yakuchunas, 3 first-round picks, a 2030 pick swap, and a 2033 second-round pick. So, a lot.
A lot of things moved.
A lot of moving pictures. And the funny thing is, with the Bucks, with Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Yakuchunas, those guys might not even be Milwaukee Bucks this season. There's a lot of rumors of Tyler Hero possibly being on the move still. The Bucks trading him to another team. Kel'el Ware could be another team, or it could be another guy that gets traded away. There's been multiple teams, including the Los Angeles Lakers, who have shown a ton of interest in Kel'el Ware. So I am very interested to see what happens past this. Another big part of this is Jaylen Brown with the Boston Celtics, because he was offered to the Bucks in exchange for Giannis, and the Bucks decided to go with this Heat trade instead. We'll give our full thoughts on this trade and what we think about possibly Jaylen Brown to the Houston Rockets here in just a moment, but I couldn't do today's show if it wasn't for our amazing friends over at Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app out there, for good reason. Doesn't matter if you're watching basketball, football, I don't know, I'm watching a little World Cup action right now, a little soccer, whatever sport you're watching. If you want to win some cash while doing it, well, get started today with our friends over at Prize Picks. It's super simple to make a lineup, just 2 to 6 players. It's like more or less on their stat projections. If we're talking soccer, you could go goals, assists, saves. If we're talking basketball, maybe points, rebounds, and assists. And you can mix and match. It doesn't have to be just one sport. You can put a basketball player with a soccer player, or a football player with a baseball player. It doesn't matter. They got you covered with whatever sport you are trying to watch. And not only that, they also have team picks. One of those team picks is who will go number 1 overall in the draft. And the top of the list, obviously, is the big 3. You have AJ Dybantsa, Darryn Peterson, and Cameron Boozer. You can put who you think is going to go number 1 overall, like I said, in that team pick section for Prize Picks, or you can go ahead and just make a player lineup like me and Lopez always do. You can also follow us on the social feeds feature. I'm at Jeremy_Chugs. New users, listen up. Download the PrizePicks app today with the link in the comments and description and use code HMA to get $50 in lives after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA to get $50 in lives after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right. I want to know.
PrizePicks.
Uh-huh.
We were talking who's going number 1 on PrizePicks. Pretend this is PrizePicks.
Yeah.
Who's going number 1?
Put in your PrizePicks pick of the night. Who's going number 1? Is it Darryn Peterson of the Kansas Jayhawks? Is it Cameron Boozer, son of Carlos Boozer, who played for Duke this season? If you think it's going to be him, type your 2s. Or do you think it's AJ Dybantsa, the kid from BYU? Go down and type those 3s. Let me know, who do you think is going number 1 overall? I talked to our guys here in the office, and overwhelmingly, I think it's number 3, AJ Dybantsa, is the prediction from the guys here at Chat Sports of who they think is going number 1 overall. I think the only other option that I think it could be would be Darryn Peterson if he somehow sneaks up to number 1. I don't think Cameron Boozer has a shot to go number 1.
No, I think Cameron Boozer has a better chance falling to 4 than jumping up to 1.
Okay.
I think Caleb Wilson does have a real shot to jump him for number 3. Does it happen? Probably not, but I think it's more likely than Boozer going up to 1.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, right? If you're the Wizards, and when you think about the number 1 pick in any sport, right? For basketball, for football, a number 1 pick is somebody who you think is going to change the trajectory of your entire organization. Is that Cameron Boozer? I feel like Cameron Boozer is going to be a good player, but is he a player that you're like, wow, one day he's going to be a top 5 player in the NBA?
He's a very safe pick. You know what his floor is. His ceiling just isn't super high.
Yeah,
you're going to get a
agree.
consistent NBA player throughout his career. You just may not get that superstar that you would want in a number 1 pick.
I don't think he's a guy who you look at projecting 5-10 years from now and being like, oh, you know what? He's going to be a top 10 player. I don't know if you look at him in 5 to 10 years and go, he's going to be a top 5 player at his position. I think more likely than not, he gives me, and it's funny because they're doing the mock draft with Bobby Marks on ESPN right now. He has Cameron Boozer at number 3. You know who I was literally just about to say? Not like the same style of player, but like how good he was throughout his career. Al Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Like Al Jefferson was never, Zach Randolph was never like the best player at their position, but they were always solid. I mean his dad, Carlos Boozer, right?
Solid NBA player.
Carlos Boozer was a great NBA player, but he wasn't ever like all NBA.
No.
And
Funny enough, you did mention Zach Randolph. The Grizzlies are picking number 3. Zach Randolph had a great career in Memphis. Can Cam Boozer be that next guy?
yeah, maybe he goes to the place that nobody wants to go to. Memphis. Don't get mad at me, according to LeBron James. According to LeBron, nobody wants to go there. Hey, that's just me. If you don't know the order for the NBA draft, we got you covered as well. We'll be breaking down all of that. Also, we have our NBA draft analyst, Nick Roloff, his best available on the board right now. He actually has AJ Dybantsa at number 3, which is pretty interesting. The projected number 1 pick to the Washington Wizards. He's got Darryn Peterson at 1, Boozer at 2, Caleb Wilson at 4, Darius Acuff, which I think he might be the sneaky best player in like 2 to 3 years. Teams are going to be looking at themselves and be like, how did we not take Acuff higher?
He has the offense game. We've seen that. It's all about, are you going to show effort on defense at the very least? Because there were times in Arkansas, he was a traffic cone.
Yeah, I think I think Acuff has that thing, though. He has Labaron Philon Jr., the guard from Bama at 6, Yaxel Lendeborg, the forward from Michigan at 7, and then Mikel Brown Jr., the guard from Louisville at number 8. And then, if you don't know the order for the draft, my God, Lopez has you covered. He's cycling through it for you right now. Wizards at 1, Jazz at 2, Grizzlies at 3. Who was it at 4?
4 was the Bulls.
The Bulls, yeah, that's right. Cease has been telling me. 5 Clippers, 6 Nets, 7 Kings, 8 Hawks, and then going 9 is going to be the Mavericks, 10 the Bucks. 11 the Warriors, 12 the Thunder, then 13 is also the Bucks. That is the pick that they got from the Miami Heat. Then the Hornets at 14, the Bulls at 15, the Grizzlies at 16. Going through the rest of the teams is 17 the Thunder, 18 the Hornets, 19 the Raptors, 20 the San Antonio Spurs. Not like the Spurs need any more help. The Pistons at 21, the 76ers at 22, 23 is the Hawks, 24 is the New York Knicks, and then number 25, the Lakers, Nuggets, Celtics, Nets, and rounding out the picks in round 1 is going to be the Cavaliers and the Dallas Mavericks. And I will be looking to see, especially towards the end of the night, who falls to round 2, because that's going to be very important with the Rockets not having a first-round pick. We got to see who they are going to possibly have a chance to get there in round 2. Now, I want to know, are you a diehard? Do you love basketball? If so, go down, hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video. We got 15 people watching, 6 likes. Can we get everybody to like the video?
Can we get to double digits? Come on.
Let's get double-digit likes. Yeah. Double-digit likes.
Let's all come together. Let's clear 10.
Facts. We got Derek says, I will say Boozer and Edie, Mari Aday front court about to go be crazy if they stay healthy. Oh,
Zach Edey.
Zach Edey.
What are you talking about?
I thought he was talking about the Michigan center.
Aday Mara.
Yeah. I was like, Aday. Yeah, I mean that would be kind of nice. Zach Edey and him with the Memphis Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies might get some more draft capital. I know there's rumors that Ja Morant might be on the move. Could it happen in the next 2 days?
Ja Morant has been somebody who has been rumored to be in a lot of NBA trade rumors. JK Meme says, I hope the Rockets make good picks or trade up. Me too. I'm hoping that,
I would like some Rockets juice if we're going to be here tonight. Maybe sneak in the back half of the first round. Be fun.
Sneak in the back?
If they let me.
We'll have to see. As the other part of this whole night is really looking at trades, because obviously, like we talked about earlier, Giannis Antetokounmpo was traded to the Miami Heat late last night, and there's been a lot of fallout. If you didn't catch my video, I just put one on the channel 2 or 3 hours ago, but the rumors have been flowing because you notice who's not in this trade? The Boston Celtics and Jaylen Brown. And
very true.
The report from Shams was that they offered Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks to the Bucks for Giannis. The Bucks said no, they went with the Heat offer, but now the cat's out of the bag. The Celtics are looking to move on from Jaylen Brown, and this is the second time, Lopez, not the first, the second time they've tried to trade Jaylen Brown. They tried to trade him for Kevin Durant. That didn't work. Now they tried to trade him for Giannis, and he's a former Finals MVP, is a all-star, is one of the top players in the league, and I don't think he's a very happy camper at this moment with the fact that his team has tried to trade him multiple times.
I don't think you can be happy. It's like, the first time, I get it's a business. This is the second time now. And it's not like he's done anything to warrant this, really.
What's the saying, Lopez? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, can't get fooled again. Fool me 1 time, a shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you.
Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign,
load the chopper, and let it rain on you. Ah! Oh, that's a great line. Do you want the Rockets to trade for Jaylen Brown? Give me a yes or no down below in the comments section. Because it looks like he's available. Now, what will the Celtics want for a Jaylen Brown? I don't know, right? Like, I think surely it starts with either Alperen Sengun or Jabari Smith Jr. And I'm hoping it's not both. I'm hoping it's just one of those 2 players. But that's where the Jaylen Brown discussion would start. Because they were thinking they were going to get Giannis for Jaylen and 2 firsts.
Yeah.
So that means they think
they value him very high.
Very high. So I think it's got to be Giannis or not Giannis. I think it's got to be Alperen Şengün plus player and picks. Like Alperen Şengün, DFS, maybe Reed Shepherd. JK Memes, Edwards over Brown. I mean, if he's available, you don't know. Windhorse said that Jaylen Brown has been growing more and more. I don't know if disdain is the right word.
I think he used the word frustrated.
Frustrated.
After Cat got traded.
Yeah, he's been growing more and more frustrated with the Timberwolves organization. And I don't know if that in turn means that he could get traded this offseason. I think that would be a crazy turn of events if he was. I don't think that that's the case. I think if anything, they probably, play it out this year and then visit it again next offseason. And I think that's both sides. I don't think Anthony Edwards is ready to force his way out just yet. But I don't know, man. Like, with Anthony Edwards, though, a trade for him, it would be way more than Jaylen Brown. If this offseason the Timberwolves were willing to trade Anthony Edwards, I really think it would take Şengün, Jabari, maybe even, I don't know, Reed Shepherd and Tari Eason, maybe. I don't know. Like, it would take a lot. Plus, you'd have to more than likely trade at least 3 first-round picks. Plus all those guys. ATY, we have a ton of draft graphics. We are going to be breaking down each and every single pick in the NBA draft. So we got you covered. We're basically going to be showing the draft here. Yes, we'll be showing all the picks as they come in. Or even, I think we get the picks usually before they come in.
Yeah,
too.
we get them. We are fast on ESPN, so if you want your NBA draft coverage as fast as possible, stick around, hang out with us for the night. We're going to have a great time. And you will be the most educated NBA draft fan in your circle. I guarantee it.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll give you all the updates, breaking down the analysis for each and every single pick. So don't miss a moment. We got you covered here on Rockets Today. As we are above 2,700 subscribers, we did pass. We have a Cavs channel that we started around the same time as this Rockets channel. We're the 2 newest channels here at Chat Sports for NBA coverage. And I'm happy to say that we passed the Cavs channel once again. So hopefully.
Yeah, I know the Houston Rockets and the Houston fan base, they're better than Cleveland. Everyone's better than Cleveland. But we are on the way to 3,000 subs. We hit the like button, we comment a little, get some more people in here. Might be able to cross that tonight. If you're not subbed, though, hit that sub button. It's free. You'll get all Rockets content every day. And it's also a live sub counter. So if you hit the sub button, you see that number go up. If you say, oh, I was number, say you're 2744, put that in the chat. We'll give you a shout out.
Hell yeah. Little Gang X Land says, I would love to see the Rockets trade for Ja Morant. Yeah, I mean, that is the definition of a boom or bust move, right? Because trading for Ja Morant, obviously, he's shown he has superstar potential. He's shown that he could be a guy in this league, be one of those dudes who can, ascend and be a top player in the NBA. But at the same time, this dude just can't get out of his own way.
Yeah, dude, stay out of trouble.
It's
either you're hurt or you're in trouble. It's never just like, oh, Ja's. When was the last time we had a positive Ja Morant headline?
It's been a while. He was injured for most of this year, and then the Grizzlies basically just decided to pack it in. They said, well, Ja's hurt.
They shipped off Jaren Jackson.
Dude, I want to say there was a game at the end of the year, and I think it was the Grizzlies versus the Jazz. And both teams put out lineups that were honestly laughable.
I remember that game.
It was both teams had basically like summer league lineups. But the plus side of that though is you're buying so low on Ja. I wonder what you would have to trade to get him. Like, I wonder, like, they couldn't be asking for that much, right?
I feel like you'd still have to give up a first, maybe a young player. I don't know if both, but I think the Grizzlies are going to try and get as much as they can.
Yeah, I don't know. And the other thing is you have Ament Thompson, who I love Ament Thompson, but if we're being honest, he can't shoot. You have to have somebody who can just light it up from deep next to him, and that's not Ja. Like, Ja is another slashing guard.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can't have. I don't know if it would work to have 2 slashing guards as your starter. Like, I think it would make more sense. I talked on the show a couple of weeks ago about Emmanuel Quickley. He's somebody for the Toronto Raptors who he sends it from deep. So I think that would be maybe a better fit for the Rockets. Oh yeah, sure.
We can go over the Rockets offseason so far.
The Rockets offseason, they were obviously 52-30. They were the 5 seed, eliminated by the Lakers in round 1. Funny enough, they were the 2 seed last year. They had the same exact record, 52-30. Same record. They went from the 2 seed to the 5 seed. That just shows you how much better the West got this year. Key free agents is Fred VanVleet. He has a player option. Tari Eason, he's a restricted free agent. And then Josh Okogie is an unrestricted free agent. 2 straight 50-win seasons for the first time since the James Harden era. So, obviously, a step up from where the Rockets were 4 or 5 years ago whenever they were tanking in the bottom of the NBA. And they were somehow still weren't able to get the number 1 overall pick with Wemby and all those guys. The Rockets draft profile, we don't have a pick in round 1 of the 2026 NBA draft. Last year, no picks. So... yeah,
not much juice coming out of the draft for the Rockets the past couple of years.
Not a lot of draft juice, but we're still here. We're still ready. The draft starts in just under 5:15, just under 5 minutes and 15
We're getting
seconds.
there. We're getting there.
Kareem says we need Jaylen Brown. I like Jaylen Brown, man. I think he's a good player. And the one thing I'll also say is with Jaylen Brown, whatever team he plays for, whether that's the Celtics or another team, he's coming off his best NBA season statistically of his career. Like, I think he's going to absolutely dominate this next year. I think he's going to be a man on a mission. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. So I think he'll definitely be looking to prove a point here.
Yeah. We got a taste of what he could do last year when the keys are handed over to him. He was finally the number 1 option in Boston. He had a career year. Teams are going to look at that and be like, what can he do for us?
Yeah.
If we bring him in, we're like, okay, this is your team now. Can you get us to a playoff run? Can you be the head guy over here?
I think he can. And you pair him with Ament Thompson, a young guy who maybe could use, some, KD veteran leader, but another guy who's been there, done that. That'd be a nice little big 3, right?
Yeah.
If you're ready for the NBA draft, type me down below in the comments section. If you are ready for the draft, just under 4 minutes, type those me's down below in the comments section. And before the draft gets going, quickly want to tell you about our friends one more time over at Prize Picks. They are America's #1 fantasy sports app out there for good reason. The World Cup is going on right now. It's on fire. And I'm able to win some money with our friends over at Prize Picks. There's no better place to catch when watching sports than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. To qualify for a Prize Picks lineup, just go 2 to 6 players and go more or less on their stat projections. If we're talking something like basketball, you can go points, rebounds, assists, 3-pointers, soccer, goals, assists, saves. If you're talking, baseball, hits, home runs, all those you can put into a player lineup. And not just that, they also have team picks. And in that teams picks section, you can also choose who you think is going #1 overall. They got Dybantsa, Peterson, Boozer as the top 3 options on the app. Who do you think is going number 1 overall to the Wizards tonight? Let me know down below in the comments section. If you feel strongly about it, well, go ahead and make that selection over on Prize Picks. New users, download the Prize Picks app today with the link in the comments and description and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. I am ready for this draft to start. If you agree, if you're ready, type those me's down below in the comment section. Little Gang Excellence says, how do y'all feel about Malik Monk? I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with little Malik Monk action, especially if we're able to get him on a like mid-level exception or like a cheaper contract. I think that would be good news for this Rocket squad. You need more shooting. You need more bench scoring. I didn't mean to. Yeah, that is my mouse. I didn't mean to leave. Huh?
It was at your desk. I didn't know if you wanted.
Oh, no. I'm good.
Okay, cool. I just seen if you wanted your mouse.
Bro just wanted to walk into the studio and say hi. Do you want to be on camera too?
I was like, where did I leave my mouse?
Yep.
I'd be cool with Malik Monk.
Malik Monk is a great scorer in the NBA. If that is what the Rockets need, they need that scoring boost off the bench. Malik Monk is one of the better guys that is going to be out there.
He's like a guy who's like, he can also be like a spot starter for you. Like, he gives me Jordan Clarkson vibes.
Like, if you need someone to start in a pinch, Malik Monk, come on.
Get off the bench. I'd be cool with that if they could somehow get Malik Monk this offseason. I'm very interested to see how Fred VanVleet plays this next year because they seem to have a lot of faith in him. 33 years old, coming off of season-ending injury, so you never know.
Okay, I know it's draft night. I know the Rockets do not have a pick tonight. Who are some of your favorite prospects, though, in this draft? I got to know.
Well, I've been mainly looking at, like, end of round 1, round 2 guys. If the Rockets were to trade up, the one guy I would want to target if he falls is Christian Anderson. I would love to go out and get Christian Anderson from Texas Tech. Was the best three-point shooter in college basketball this past year. I really think that he's a guy who, would fit perfectly on this Rocket squad because that's what they need. They need more shooting. They need more scoring. You have Ament Thompson, but having another guard who can be a good, shooter, three-point scorer. I like Christian Anderson if the Rockets were to trade up in round 1. Round 2, somebody that I like is Jaden Bradley from Arizona. I think he's a really good round 2 prospect. Maybe also, I don't know, Brayden Smith. The Texans brought in a Brayden Smith. Maybe the Rockets bring in Brayden Smith.
Dude, Brayden Smith in every Houston organization?
Yeah, from Purdue. A guard there, somebody who... And I'm partly saying this because he's white, but it gives me Peyton Pritchard vibes as a backup, smart point guard.
I think Pritchard is a better shooter. Smith is a lot more of a better playmaker. He's very smart.
Yeah.
And we've seen that in his time at Purdue. He averages like 9 assists a season in his 4 or 5 years, how long he was there.
Also, there was like 3 mock drafts that came out within the past 48 hours that all had the Rockets taking Emmanuel Sharp from U of H.
Shooter.
That would be cool. Another shooter. I'd be cool with that at pick 39 if they want to keep the kid in H-Town. I know a lot of Houston fans would really love that as well. Quick reminder, if you want to get up on screen, any super chat, my guy Lopez will throw you up on screen right here. If we do get $100 in super chats, I'll do a beer bong. If for some reason we get to 500, I'll do a beer boot. That's 3 beers in 1 glass. Don't know if we'll need the boot tonight, but you never know. You never know who's out there. But if you have a strong opinion, if you want to get your name up on screen or just have something you want to say, a question you want to ask, all you got to do is super chat, get your question up there, and my guy Lopez will throw you up on screen. Kareem says, do you think we make a trade into round 1 tonight? Maybe at the end of round 1. You never know because there's a lot of teams that are picking at the end of round 1 that maybe they don't necessarily want to spend that draft pick. Maybe get a future pick instead. Maybe get some second-round picks instead. I feel like there's a lot of times in the NBA where, teams are just like, I'd rather just not make the pick.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they attack it this year with all the hype that this draft has been getting. I know for you NFL fans out there, this is kind of like the 2027 NFL draft where teams are treating those picks like gold. So I wonder if we're not going to have as many trades as usual in the NBA.
Yeah.
Because of the deep draft class that we have right now.
I will say this, Derek knows ball. I did break down Ebuka Okorie as another good option from Stanford. Derek, I've been talking to our NBA guys here, our draft analysts. They think he might go in the teens. So we'll see where he ends up. He's been actually rising up draft boards as of late. So we'll have to see where Ebuka Okorie goes. But Derek knows ball. He knows his prospects because that's somebody who we've broken down on the channel before as well.
Yeah.
Jaden Bradley's the one guy I would like in round 2. I wouldn't mind Emmanuel Sharp as a shooter. Ryan Conwell out of Louisville, and then Bruce Thornton out of Ohio State. Even though our draft guy here, Roley, was not a fan of Bruce Thornton whenever I was talking to him about it. He was like, do not draft that guy. I was like, I don't have a say in it. So we'll see what the Rockets do.
Ooh, and Adam Silver is stepping up to the podium. Looks like the NBA draft is about to kick off. He's giving shout-outs to the Knicks.
He's slurping the Knicks.
Spam those boos if you are not a fan of Adam Silver. Get those boos going.
Boo Adam Silver. Boo.
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 Yeah.
Boo this man.
He doesn't want the Rockets to succeed. They should have had the number 1 pick in the Wemby draft. It's your fault, Adam Silver.
He screwed us. He screwed us multiple times.
Still slurping the Knicks. Talking about Jalen Brunson, how he's a 2nd-round pick.
I'll say it. Kind of looks like an alien.
Oh, yeah. That dude does not look like he is from the same planet as us. Shout out to the NBA.
All right.
Making it a 5 minute. 5 minutes for the first round.
Shout out to them for sure. All right. The Wizards are on the clock. Who will Washington take? Number 1 in the NBA draft. A lot of people are thinking it might be AJ Dybantsa, but there could be a world where it is Darryn Peterson. Let me know, who do you think it's going to be number 1 overall tonight? Do you think it's going to be Darryn Peterson? Type those 1s. Cameron Boozer. Type those 2s. Or AJ Dybantsa. Type those 3s. I'm typing my 3. I think it's going to be AJ Dybantsa.
I see Liddy Gang saying 3. He thinks Dybantsa is going to be the first guy off the board. I think it's really just between Peterson and Dybantsa at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Wizards War Room, quiet. I will say, at this point,
the Wizards should know who they want. I believe in every draft, unless you trade the number 1 pick on draft night, you should not get the 5 minutes. They should have announced this pick.
AJ Dybantsa wearing a black suit. Got some roses on the side. Darryn Peterson, more the classic black and white, just business. I would say that's like a business suit. And then Cameron Boozer would be all white.
Dude, that's clean. I'm moving over to Mavs after pick 1.
Okay. Yeah. You remember how to?
Yes.
Alrighty.
If not, I'm just going to run and be like, you can't catch me.
I'm just stuck like this for the rest of the night.
Who's going number 1 as we are on pick number 18?
All right. The Wizards still on the clock. They have Anthony Davis. They just signed Trae Young to a 4-year, $212 million contract. They also have Alex Sarr. They have Trey Johnson. They just need a star.
Yeah, they need a guy.
And I think that might be AJ Dybantsa.
Don't forget to hit that sub button, as we will be live all night on Rockets Today by Chat Sports, covering the 2026 NBA Draft for you.
2 minutes left on the clock. I'm glad it's not 7 minutes anymore.
Yeah. Also, another boomer take possibly for me. Remember when the NBA Draft was one night?
Yeah. I prefer that.
Yeah. What happened?
Who wants night 2 on its own night? What are we doing? What's going on? You think the Wizards are going to keep or trade AD?
I think they have to keep. I don't think any team's really going to trade for him right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of money.
I like Anthony Davis. If he's healthy, I still think he's a really good player. But I mean, with his contract and his injuries, I just don't see how you can. Trade for him.
Yeah, I can't give up many valuable assets for him at this point.
Kareem, I hate that we picked Reed Shepherd over Castle. I mean, part of it, yes, but also the other part of it is that Castle refused to work out with the Rockets and didn't want them to pick him. His camp literally told the Rockets, do not draft me. Now, I don't want it to be thought of, or I don't like the idea of an NBA team getting bullied by a draft pick. But also, I don't know if you want to draft somebody who doesn't want to play for you. So if the Rockets had a similar grade for Reed Shepherd and Stephon Castle, and they're like, well, Reed Shepherd wants to play for us, Stephon Castle doesn't.
Why would I cause a problem that I can easily avoid?
Exactly. So, yeah,
hindsight is also 2020, because coming out of that draft, there was talk that Reed Shepherd could have been number 1.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I saw some mocks, especially when he was cooking at Kentucky, that he was number 1.
I still believe that Reed Shepherd can be a good player. Like, the Rockets, there was a stretch there when they were on a winning streak with Reed Shepherd starting. And he only started, I want to say, around 20 games in the regular season. All right, we have the number 1 pick is in.
Come on.
And
come on, Adam Silver. Get to the podium.
I think it might be in the graphics for us.
Ooh.
With the number 1 pick.
It is in the graphics.
In the 2026 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select AJ Dybantsa, guard from BYU. Hometown, Brockton, Massachusetts. 19-year-old, 6'8.5". He weighs 217 pounds this past year for Brigham Young. 25.5 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 51% field goal percentage. Let me know, did they make the right pick? AJ Dybantsa, the number 1 pick in the NBA Draft. I think overall, they think that Dybantsa might be a little bit of a safer pick than Peterson because of his injuries. But overall, we'll have to see how these two young players go about it. I think with the number 2 pick, we'll probably be seeing Darryn Peterson here. But, maybe we get our first surprise of the night. But AJ Dybantsa, he is the number 1 pick in the NBA Draft 2026. If you get that on a trivia question in the future, if you see something later on, just know the number 1 pick in the 2026 NBA Draft is AJ Dybantsa. Oh, you keep the changes. Did you revert?
I didn't click anything. I just kind of clicked off the screen. I guess I just hit keep.
This could be a pick that really changes everything for the Washington Wizards. All right, as producer Lopez is going to leave me here all alone. This. Boom. Yeah. Oh, 1 second. There you go, buddy. All righty. Don't be sad that it's over. Just be happy that it happened. On the clock now, number 2 pick in the draft is the Utah Jazz. But we can go ahead and break down a little bit more of this AJ Dybantsa pick, and let's see what the draft experts have to say on Dybantsa. This is from the No Ceilings draft guide on AJ Dybantsa. If you were to build an NBA superstar wing prospect in a laboratory, this is how they would look. Tremendous tools with ridiculous upside waiting to be untapped, but the defensive consistency is the key to unlocking a superstar. This past year at Brigham Young, he went off, right? Like, he was somebody who definitely was able to get his. And the scouting report from our guy here, Nick Roloff, elite scorer who can find a way to his spots anywhere on the floor, likes to get downhill and doesn't settle for many unnecessary three-pointers, didn't always show defensive effort at BYU, was his big, knock, I would say, on Dybantsa. But overall, I think he is somebody who I think that's a good pick, right? I think that's a good first pick for the Washington Wizards. I think, obviously, you could have maybe gone with Peterson, but at the end of the day, you're going to go ahead and get somebody who you think is going to change your franchise. And, they went with the safer pick, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going with what you think is the safer pick. Let's look at who's up next in the draft. We have, obviously, the Jazz on the clock. The best available on the board. Our guy here at Chat Sports has Cameron Boozer there as the best available on the board, but I would guess they're going Darryn Peterson here. That's just what I think. We'll see. Oh, and as I'm saying that, the pick is in. The number 2 pick in the 2026 NBA draft. All right, let's see who it is. All right. With the number 2 pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select Darryn Peterson. Not a big surprise there. Guard from Kansas. If only I could get to the weigh-ins. Darryn Peterson, the number 2 pick in the NBA draft to the Utah Jazz. Now, there's a lot of people that thought he might be able to go number 1 overall. But I think the biggest detractor to Darryn Peterson was the fact that, he didn't play a lot in Kansas whenever, I think he played it safe. I'll say that. There was times where he sat out. He was more conservative with his playing style in that it looked like he wasn't trying to get injured before the NBA draft. Now, our guy here at Chat Sports, Rolly, had him as the number 1 player on his big board. And as he said, when healthy, an explosive athlete in the backcourt with good positional length, has a ton of upside and has probably the most upside as anyone in this draft class due to his defensive playmaking. Wasn't efficient finishing at the rim, but, definitely a player that could evolve into a superstar in the NBA. This past year at Kansas, 20.2 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, shooting 43% from the field. Let's see what the No Ceilings podcast had to say, or No Ceilings draft guide had to say on Peterson. A do-it-all guard whose season was derailed by nagging injuries. When healthy, Peterson can be a lockdown defender, primary creator, and or off-ball scorer. He's one of the most complete guard prospects in recent draft years. So there you have it with the second pick in the NBA draft. The Utah Jazz are selecting Darryn Peterson. Not a huge surprise there, but at the same time, I think we might look back and say, wow, I can't believe that Darryn Peterson went behind AJ Dybantsa. He's somebody who can make teams very, very mad in the future. All right, now coming up, we have the Memphis Grizzlies on the clock. 3 through 6 right here. Grizzlies at number 3, the Bulls at number 4, Clippers at 5, the Nets at 6. Who will the Grizzlies take? A lot of people assume that the Grizzlies are going to take Darryn, or a lot of people assume that the Grizzlies are going to take Cameron Boozer here at number 3, but I've also seen a lot of speculation about maybe Caleb Wilson falls. Or Caleb Wilson is the number 3 pick. And, kind of spoiled it right there. There it is. With the number 3 pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies are selecting Cameron Boozer from Duke. Obviously, the son of Carlos Boozer, 18 years old, 6'8", a small forward, I would say, plays like a big man, but will definitely have to change up his play style a little bit as he enters the NBA. He'll still probably grow a little bit being an 18-year-old. This past year at Duke averaged 22.5 points per game, 10.2 rebounds per game, 4.1 assists, 55% shooting from the field. Our scouting report here on Boozer: strong physical frame that he used well to bully opponents and rebound at a high rate. Intriguing passing ability with an extremely high feel for finding the open man. Not a gifted athlete, looks a bit stiff at times. And according to the No Ceilings draft guide, this is what they had to say on him: a dominant all-around offensive weapon at 6'9" and 250 pounds who can score inside and outside, pass players open in half-court sets, and finish in transition while being an excellent rebounder at both ends of the floor. That from the No Ceilings NBA draft guide. The numbers on Cameron Boozer. His testing numbers at the combine: wingspan 7'1", reach of 9 feet. The vertical 28.5, max 35. You see the sprint numbers there. His shooting at the combine: 18 of 30 off the dribble, spot up 19 of 25. Three-pointers shot a cool 50% at the combine. So definitely we'll want to be working on those a little bit throughout his rookie season in the NBA to see if he could possibly improve a little bit and get a little bit better as he evolves his game into an NBA player. And now we are quickly going through the draft, as now the Bulls are up on the clock. The Bulls with the number 4 pick up on the clock. Little Liddy Gang says, my coworker was joking about the Rockets trading for Kawhi for 3 first-round picks. I don't think so. Hey, babe, sorry, I didn't mean to call. Didn't know you were live. Have a good show. Love you to my wife. Love you. Also wearing the new shirt. Bang. But yeah, we are through the first 3 picks already. Cameron Boozer, the 3rd pick in the draft. As we await the 4th pick in the NBA draft, I believe it'll be Caleb Wilson, but we'll have to see. From our draft guy here, Rolly, the best available would be Caleb Wilson, but I was saying before the draft started, I wouldn't mind if it was me, if I was the Chicago Bulls, taking a chance on Darius Acuff. I think he's going to be a star. I think he might be the guy that when we look 3-4 years down the road, being like, damn, I can't believe Acuff made it all the way to pick 5, 6, maybe 8 or 9. You never know. I think he's got that it factor. I mean, obviously you want his defensive ability to be heightened a little bit more. You want him to be able to, give you more effort on the defensive end, but man, he can turn it on. And on offense, he's an absolute dog. So we'll have to see with what the Bulls do here. But I do think it's a possibility that they go with Darius Acuff. Also, Labaron Philon Jr. You also have Yaxel Lendeborg. The rest of Rolly's best available, Mikel Brown Jr., Aday Mara, Morez Johnson Jr., and Keaton Wagler, guard from Illinois. Interesting to see who the Bulls take here. Let's take a look at their draft card. They were 31-51 this past year. They have number 4 and number 15. Last year they drafted Noah Asingay and Lachlan Obrick. Interesting to see where they go here with the number 4 pick in the 2026 NBA draft. Out of these 3 players, who do you think has the best shot to win Rookie of the Year? Let me know down below in the comment section. Who do you think has the best shot to win Rookie of the Year? If you think it's AJ Dybantsa, type 1. If you think it's Darryn Peterson, type 2. Or if you think it's Cameron Boozer, type 3. Who do you think has the best chance to win Rookie of the Year? I might be typing my 2. Little Gang says 2. ATY says Darryn, of course. I think so. Especially because I feel like rookie season, like Rookie of the Year, a lot of people just look at the scoring. And I think Darryn Peterson will be able to probably average the most out of anybody. All right, here we go. We have the pick. With the 4th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Caleb Wilson, forward from North Carolina. 6'9", 210 pounds. He was a freshman this past year for the Tar Heels. Averaged 19.8 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, almost averaging a double-double in college. 2.7 assists per game, 57.8 shooting from the field. Let's take a look at our scouting report from our guy, Nick Roloff. He says about Caleb Wilson, eye-popping athleticism, and coordination to handle and finish passes and lobs. Great recovery defensively. Gets up to make some ridiculous blocks. Shooting concerns, both volume and efficiency. That is where he's going to struggle, but he is an athletic freak. This dude can jump out of the gym. Definitely will have to work on his shooting ability at the next level. But, if he can get a shot, if he can, refine his game a little bit, you're looking at somebody who can be a two-way player, an amazing defensive star, and somebody who can give you, offensive putbacks, offensive rebounds, and maybe develop a nice pick-and-roll game at the next level. Let's see what the No Ceilings draft guide has to say on Caleb Wilson. A two-way freak athlete who dunks everything, averaged nearly 3 stocks, plays with relentless motor. Wilson's combination of monster productivity with untapped creation, upside, and shooting ceiling that hasn't been tested yet lands some of the highest upside in this class. Our guy here at Chat Sports, Patrick Seatman, he is a big Caleb Wilson guy. He is our Bulls guy as well, so he's very happy with the pick here of Caleb Wilson at number 4. You can see his testing numbers at the Combine. Obviously, like I said, look at that vertical. At 6'9", he has almost a 35-inch vertical. Dude can absolutely jump out the gym. And with that, we have our first 4 picks done in the 2026 NBA draft. Next up on the clock, number 5, it's going to be the LA Clippers. Let's see who the Clippers go ahead and select here at number 5. If I could just figure this out. All right, we have the first 4 picks done with in the NBA draft. Caleb Wilson, a defensive absolute freak. The best available left on the board, I think it might be Darius Acuff here at number 5. We'll have to see what the Clippers are going to go with. Let's look at their draft card and see what they might be interested in. Missed the playoffs, 42-40. Owned the number 5 pick. Last year, picked Yannick Cannon Niederhauser. Scouting quote stat pro. Bet. Oh, there we go. Now I can show you all the numbers. Numbers for Caleb Wilson. Sorry, had a little bit of a problem with that. Here are the numbers for Caleb Wilson last year, and I can go ahead and show you those numbers on the other players that have been selected. Sorry, was having a trouble with that graphic. Numbers last year for Caleb Wilson. 19.8 points per game, 1.5 steal, 1.4 blocks, 57.8 field goal percentage. Cameron Boozer last year at Duke, 22.5 points per game, 10.2 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1.4 steals, 55.6 field goal percentage, 39.1 from deep. And then you go to Darryn Peterson. Dude, this is why I said he could be easily the rookie of the year. 20.2 points per game. But look at those three-point attempts and three-point percentage. 6.9 3-points attempted, nice, per game. And shot 38.2% from deep. Shot a lot and at a great clip last season for the Jayhawks, and I think that'll translate to the next level. And then you look at the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, AJ Dybantsa. 25.5 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.1 steals, 51% from the field, and 33% from deep. Those are the first 4 picks with the Clippers on the clock. Let's see who the Clippers select. I think it might be Darius Acuff. We'll have to see who they end up picking here. The pick is in. Let's see who it is. With the 5th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft. Who's it gonna be? Wow. Our first surprise of the draft. I think it's been pretty chalk so far, but with the 5th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Keaton Wagler, guard from Illinois. Had that great run in the tourney this year. Averaged 17.9 points per game, 5.1 assists. I would have gone with Darius Acuff, but that's just me. But Keaton Wagler, obviously a good prospect, 6'5", 188 pounds. Let's look at his numbers this past year for the Fighting Illini. Averaged 17.9 points per game, 44 from the field, 5.9 threes per game, 39.7 from deep. Can light it up from deep. Obviously is a 3-point sniper, 5.1 rebounds to 4.2 assists. I think he's a good overall prospect. Let's see what our guy Nick Roloff, our draft expert, had to say on him. Great processor on offense and knows how to find and attack spaces in the defense. Effective shooter off the dribble and catch. Not a bad athlete, but lacks elite traits to expand his ceiling on both ends. So this is somebody who our draft expert here at Chat Sports said is somewhat limited, but you know what you're getting from him. Like, I would say a high floor, low ceiling. Like, you know you're going to get a good shooter. You know you're going to get a good player overall in Keaton Wagler. How much can he expand his game, though? How much can he, work on his athleticism, getting above the rim more, being able to defend at a high level? We'll have to see how he translates to the next level. But the Clippers now have a backcourt with him and Darius Garland. Going to be interesting to see how those two mesh at this next level, with the Clippers trading for Garland from the Cavaliers at the halfway point in the season. Let's see what the No Ceilings NBA Draft Guide had to say on Keaton Wagler. Wagler has all the skills and size you want in a modern NBA guard. The IQ and nuance he plays with on both ends of the floor, combined with his talent, are what make him dangerous. He is definitely a playmaker and somebody who, off the dribble, really set up a lot of teammates and somebody who really ran that offense at Illinois. He really, I would say, a big part of his game, being able to drive and kind of that, being able to kind of slow down, like the change of pace, being able to, stop on a dime. That's really something that he excelled at in college. We'll have to see if that translates with the Los Angeles Clippers. His numbers at the combine, 6'6", 1/4, the reach of 8'4", vertical standing 33, max vert of 36. You see those shooting numbers off the dribble, spot up in 3-pointers, but I don't want to put too much stock into that because it's just one day of shooting. A lot of pressure. It could have just been an off shooting day for Wagler, but definitely show that he does have a good shooting stroke and can definitely, be somebody to be an offensive threat at this level. So we'll have to see how that goes. With the first surprise of the NBA draft, the Los Angeles Clippers selecting Keaton Wagler. Now, the Brooklyn Nets on the clock here at number 6. Let's see who they take. How far will Darius Acuff fall? I don't think he falls past number 9 with the Dallas Mavericks. If he gets to 9 with the Mavs, absolutely the steal of the draft. The steal of the draft, in my opinion. Are the Rockets drafting those second rounds or trading for a first from Edits 83-849? I think they're probably staying round 2, but you never know, right? Like, they're also probably working a couple other trades behind the scenes. I don't know if the draft is their top priority at the moment. We'll have to see, though. Obviously, with the trade that went down yesterday, you never know what's going to happen because Giannis got traded to the Heat. The Bucks took Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Yaxel, 3 first-round picks. So you never know, right? Like, I think it'll be very interesting to see what the fallout is from this. The Celtics offered Jaylen Brown for Giannis. They didn't trade him, though. The Bucks chose the Heat's offer instead. So where does that leave Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics? I think that's definitely somebody who the Rockets are at this moment considering. I would say I would look at the Rockets as the team. I would say probably most in on Jaylen Brown, along with maybe a couple other squads. Maybe the Portland Trailblazers being one of them, the Atlanta Hawks being another one of them. Very interested to see, though, what the fallout is from this. Let me know if you haven't voted. The live poll is pretty even right now. The live poll is 52% say the Heat won the trade. 52% are saying that the Heat won the trade. ATY says Clippers not getting a tall guy with their pick and Keaton Wagler not getting a big man. Maybe a Şengün and Reed for Kawhi trade? Possibly. All right, we have the number 6 pick in. With the 6th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Brooklyn Nets are selecting. All right, he keeps on falling, my guy Darius Acuff. The Nets are going with Mikel Brown Jr., guard from Louisville. 18.2 points per game, 4.7 assists, 41% from the field, 7.6 3-pointers attempted. Is definitely somebody who was able to shoot from deep and shoot it well. His numbers from this past year, like I said, 7.6 attempts per game from behind the arc and shot at a 34.4% clip. 41% from the field, 4.7 assists per game. 18.2 points per game. Let's see our scouting report from our guy, Nick Roloff. He says, twitchy athlete with a deep bag to create and drill shots off the dribble. Flashes of active hands to create steals. Will be tested early on with his skinny frame, but has the size to add more mass. So definitely a young athlete who definitely still has some room to grow, still, literally and figuratively in the NBA. Let's see what the No Ceilings draft guide now has to say on Mikel Brown Jr. A creative, bouncy, shifty lead guard who can play on or off the ball with star-level shooting projection, innovative playmaking vision, and handle that leaves defenders frozen. So definitely somebody who maybe can be one of the primary ball handlers for a Nets organization that is definitely looking to get back to winning ways, especially with the new draft rules in the NBA where tanking really isn't going to be a thing anymore. The Nets are going to try to win this year. So maybe a guy like Mikel Brown Jr. can help those winning ways. A really good pick and roll guard, really good in transition, and like I said, able to run up and down the court and also get his shot. Good three-point shooter overall. I think is going to be a decent player in the NBA. And there we have it. 6 picks down. Next up on the clock, it's going to be the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings up next with pick 7. Will my guy Darius Acuff keep on falling? We'll have to see. Edits. Suns have the Rockets first this season. I believe so. Let me see. No. Let me see. The Oklahoma City Thunder hold the Rockets' first-round pick, which was then traded to the 76ers. So, yeah. Pick 22 would have been the Rockets' first-round pick. They traded it to the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, here we go so far with the first. Oh, and here it is. Did not make it to number 9. Poor Coop. With the 7th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Darius Acuff Jr. This is the guy that I've been saying I think can be the star of the draft and maybe a player where we look and go, wow, I can't believe he made it to the Kings at pick 7. 19 years old. This past year for the Arkansas Razorbacks, 23.5 points per game, 6.4 assists, shot 48% from the field and 44% from 3. Let me repeat that. Shot 44% from deep. This dude is an absolute bucket. And that's not like he barely shot it either. He shot almost 6 3-pointers a game at Arkansas. And if you watched him in the tournament, he was one of the best players by far in March Madness. 23.5 points per game, 6.4 assists, and shot 48% from the field. This dude, like I said, he's a walking bucket. Our guy here at Chat Sports, Nick Roloff, had him at the number 2 guard and the 5 overall player in this draft class. Effortless scorer who matched volume with efficiency at Arkansas, creates for his teammates well, and runs the pick and roll with great control. Defensive liability. That's why he probably fell, which is really affecting his draft stock and his ceiling in the NBA is didn't seem like he always gave the most effort, I would say, on the defensive side. Let's see what the No Ceilings Draft Guide has to say on Darius Acuff. A lead guard who can both orchestrate and score. Acuff blends traditional point guard feel with modern shot making. His ability to create advantages gives him real offensive engine upside as his efficiency and physical strength continue to develop. Now, if he can, not be a liability on the defensive side, I think he's definitely somebody who can show up and show out at the next level. And he is now a Sacramento King. His numbers at the combine, 6'6" and a half wingspan, 8'2" reach, that standing vertical of 31.5, the max vert of 36.5. He's an athlete. He can get above the rim for sure. His shooting at the combine, 24 for 30 off the dribble, 19 of 25 spot up, and 26 for 51. I think I agree with Liddy Gang. He's somebody who can average 20 points per game at the next level. He is elite on the offensive end. If he can just be a non-liability on defense, if he can, show some effort, I think he could definitely have a long and prosperous NBA career. He's powerful. He gets to the rim at will. He finishes really well at the rim. Not only just a shooter, but an all-around great offensive player. Really, the only weakness, like I've mentioned, is his defense. Can he be somebody who can step up on the defensive end at the next level? And there you have it. The first 8 picks. The first 8 picks in the NBA draft are almost done. The Atlanta Hawks are now on the clock. Here are the first 7 picks. Eric Douglas, do you think Kingston falls out of the first round? No shot is Kingston Flemings falling out of the first round. For the Rockets' sake, I'd like him to, but I don't think he makes it out of the lottery, if we're being honest. The Hawks are on the clock, and if we look at the big board of Rolly's best available, let's see where Kingston falls. He's got Labaron Philon Jr., guard from Alabama. He's got Yaxel Lendeborg, Aday Mara, and Morez Johnson Jr., 3 Michigan players back to back to back. Obviously, there's a reason why they won the March Madness tournament this year. Kingston Flemings is his 5th best available on the board right now. Like I said, I don't think there's a world where he falls out of round 1. Brayden Burries, the guard from Arizona, 13th overall. He's the 6th best player available on the board right now. Cameron Carr, guard from Baylor. Dailyn Swain, forward from Texas. And then if we keep on going down that big board, Kareem Lopez at number 9. Hannes Steinbach, big man from Washington, there at number 10. Bennett Stirtz, guard from Iowa, there at number 11. And Chris Sinak Jr., guard or forward from U of H. And literally, maybe it's because you asked, Eric, but with the 8th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Kingston Flemings, guard from Houston. Eric Douglas, you mentioned him, so that's exactly why the Hawks go ahead and take him with that very next pick. A freshman this past year for U of H, led the Cougars, really was one of their main scorers and one of their main offensive drivers for U of H this past year. 16.1 points per game, 5.2 assists per game, 1.5 steals, 47.6 shooting from the field. Definitely can add some more muscle, right? 6'2", 183 pounds. Let's see what our guy Nick Roloff has to say on one Kingston Flemings. Dangerous speed that he uses well in the half court and in transition. Uncommon shooting touch and playmaking for his stature. May face issues versus more physical players. And like I said, right, like at somebody who's 180 pounds soaking wet, he's definitely going to have to add some muscle, add some poundage at the next level. He was the number 6 guard and number 12 overall player on our Chat Sports big board. His numbers this past year for the Cougars: 16.1 points per game, 5.2 assists per game, 1.5 steals, 47.6 shooting from the field, and 38.7 from deep. Let's see what the No Ceilings draft guide had to say on Kingston Flemings. Speed demon who plays with a fantastic change of gears and the poise of an upperclassman guard. A bucket-getting machine who could unlock another galaxy with his two-way upside if the outside shot continues to progress. Very interested to see Kingston Flemings at the next level and see what he's able to do at his pro day or at the NBA Combine. Let's see how he looked. Lit it up shooting, right? 37 of 53 from deep. Spot up 15 of 20, 26 of 30 off the dribble. 6'3" wingspan, 8'2" reach. That standing vertical of 33.5, but the max vertical of 40.5. This dude is athletic. This dude is somebody who can definitely make it at the next level and is, I'm not going to say a project player, but somebody who I think has a lot of room to grow. And we haven't even kind of scratched the surface of how good Kingston Flemings can be. He's definitely somebody who you look at and you're like, I think he can definitely get much better at this next level. All right, I want to know from y'all, who do you think's been the best pick so far in the draft? I'm a little biased. I'm going to say Darius Acuff. With the Mavs on the clock now, who do you think is the best pick so far in the NBA draft? Let me know down below in the comment section. Eric Douglas, say his name, and he appears. I believe in Kingston Flemings. The number 8 pick to the Atlanta Hawks. Let me know down below, who do you think has been the best pick so far in the NBA draft? Keaton Wagler was definitely a surprise pick for me. Mikel Brown Jr., Darius Acuff, and Kingston Flemings. Now the Mavs are on the clock here at number 9. Who will they end up taking? As the first 8 picks have come and gone in the 2026 NBA draft. Let me know who you think made the best picks so far. While you're down there, maybe go out and check our sponsor of today's program. That is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app out there. World Cup action is on fire right now. Also, baseball, esports, tennis, golf, all going right now. And if you want to win some money while watching sports, Prize Picks is the best place to do so. I love Prize Picks, and I know you will too. They also have the team pick section where you can pick winners, pick spreads, pick totals on the same app that you know and love for those player picks. Now, for me, I did make a Prize Picks lineup for the World Cup. And if you want to follow my lineup or, anybody here at Chat Sports' lineup, you can do so with the social feeds feature here at Chat Sports. Super simple. You can follow me, Jeremy_Chugs, or anybody here at Chat Sports on that social feeds feature. Get started today with our friends over at Prize Picks. New users, download the Prize Picks app today with the link in the comments and description, and use our code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. As I mentioned, the first 8 picks have come and gone. And the Dallas Mavericks are on the clock. Let's see who is available. Here are the best 8 players available for the Dallas Mavericks. Are they going to go with, there's 3 Michigan players on the board right now. And the Mavs just hired former Michigan coach Dusty May. So will they go with one of these Michigan players, Yaxel, Lendeborg, Aday, Mara, or Morez Johnson Jr.? Or maybe they go with Brayden, Burries, or another player. And just as I'm saying that, the pick is in. With the 9th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Morez Johnson Jr., big man from Michigan. Obviously, they have the Michigan head coach, Dusty May, and now they get one of the Michigan players in Morez Johnson Jr., which is interesting. The lowest rated Michigan player left on the board. We had Yaxel, Lendeborg, and Aday Mara over him, but looks like Dusty May maybe is showing favoritism a little bit here with his guys from last season, going with Morez Johnson Jr., 6'9", 250 pounds, big man, 13.1 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 1 block, 62.3% from the field. Our scouting report on Morez Johnson Jr., powerful player with a broad frame, but also moves really well for his size, has the athletic traits and motor to hold his own against all 5 positions on defense. Offensive ceiling will depend on his shooting. So we'll have to see whether or not he can develop more as a shooter at this next level. His numbers this past year for the Michigan Wolverines, 13.1 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 1.2 assists, 1.1 block. His field goal percentage at 62.3%. Morez Johnson Jr., the newest member of the Dallas Mavericks. The No Ceilings draft guide had this to say on Morez Johnson. Johnson does all the things that your stats want, or that your stars don't want to do. From crashing the boards, setting screens, defending everyone, and being a low-maintenance play finisher, Johnson is the epitome of a winning player. So, somebody who, the Mavs already have their star. They have Cooper Flagg. Morez Johnson Jr., from what this is saying and, what I kind of gain from it, gives the vibes of a Draymond Green. And I'm not saying that as a slight to Morez Johnson Jr. Draymond Green has won multiple championships and probably a Hall of Fame player. And Morez Johnson Jr. seems like a player that is of that same cloth, right? Somebody who is not afraid to get his hands dirty, not afraid to go in there and get the tough rebound, not afraid to set a tough screen, not afraid to guard anybody on the court. His testing numbers at the combine: 7'3" wingspan, 8'11" reach, standing vertical of 33.5, max vert of 39 inches. His shooting numbers, and this is definitely where, he'll have to improve, but the three-point number's not bad, right? 30 of 54. The spot up, though, 9 of 25. Off the dribble, 15 of 30. You'd like to see those numbers bump up a little bit for him at this next level, but let's see how he pairs with Cooper Flagg there with the Dallas Mavericks. The 6'9", 250-pound big man from Michigan. Now, he's somebody, like I said, multiple position defender, can, guard on the perimeter, can be a, rim defender as well. and was a ultimate hustle guy for Michigan this past year. And obviously their head coach, who is the new head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, valued him tremendously. Rel XO, here's to hoping the Rockets move up. Me too, man. And now with that, we have the first 9 picks in the NBA drafts have come and gone. If you missed out, AJ Dybantsa at number 1, Darryn Peterson at 2, Cameron Boozer 3 with the Memphis Grizzlies, Caleb Wilson at 4, Keaton Wagler at 5, Mikel Brown Jr. at 6, Darius Acuff Jr. at 7, and Kingston Flemings there at number 8. Morez Johnson Jr. drafted with the latest pick, number 9, to the Dallas Mavericks. Now, a very interesting team, and one team that we're all going to have an eye on up on the clock, and that is the Milwaukee Bucks. Because obviously, they have 2 picks here in round 1 in the lottery, 10 and 13. We'll see who they end up selecting to, I'm not going to say replace Giannis Antetokounmpo, because no player in this draft is going to be able to do that for them. But definitely looking to replace some of that production, right? They have a lot of young players that came in. Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Hawkins Jr., Yaxel. They got 3 first-round picks. Number 13 pick this year. They got a 2031, a 2033 first-round pick, a 2030 pick swap, and a second-round pick in 2033. Woo! Gonna be crazy. Rel XO says Bucks got robbed. I mean, from the live poll, it doesn't seem like it was that much of a robbery, right? Like, the Heat, according to the live poll, who won the Giannis trade, Heat had only 54%. From edits, Sports Illustrated said Tari and the Rockets are not close to a contract. Only hope is matching. We'll see what his market is out there, right? Like, we'll see if... I think the Rockets are perfectly fine with letting him dictate, how much he's possibly going to get on the open market. Also, you'll have to think, though, teams will probably not be as interested in offering him a ton of money as a restricted free agent, because they're like, okay, like, why are we going to spend all this time to basically set the Rockets deal for them, right? Like, they know that the Rockets are likely to match. Back to the Bucks, though. Who will they take here? Yaxel Lendeborg from Michigan, Aday Mara from Michigan, 2 players who could possibly step up here. Labaron Philon Jr. is the number 1 player available on our draft analyst Nick Roloff's big board. Brayden Burries. Wow, for my guy Brado, Kingston Flemings is the first Houston guard to get drafted in the top 10 since 1961. Wow. Well, good for him, man. Good for him. U of H getting some more talented guys out there. And the pick is in for the Milwaukee Bucks. The pick is in with the number 10 pick in the 2026 NBA draft. The Milwaukee Bucks select Brayden Burries, guard from Arizona. $16.1 points per game last year, 2.4 assists, 1.5 steals, 49% from the field. Is somebody who as I mentioned, nobody's going to replace Giannis, but definitely can be a start at that. A 20-year-old freshman from San Bernardino, California. Our draft report on him: efficient scorer that can work within the flow of any offense, strong on-ball defender on the perimeter and creates turnovers at a high rate, lacks an elite profile at his position. But Brayden Burries is definitely somebody who I think a lot of people, I know our guy here, Jeffrey Cooperstein, our Mavs guy, was really high on Brayden Burries. Was really high on him. Would have loved him for the Mavs. 16.1 points per game, 2.4 assists, 1.5 steals. That's shooting 49% from the field, 4.6 3-pointers a game, and shot at a 39% clip from deep. The No Ceilings Draft Guide on Brayden Burries. Burries is the type of guard every team wants, tough and physical, capable of scoring at all three levels with a mature physical stature, who rises to the moment. Well, there you go. Brayden Burries, number 10 pick. And the Bucks are going to select here in just a couple picks. Anyways. Got it in front of me so we can take a better look at Brayden Burries. Brayden Burries, in the article from the No Ceilings Draft Guide, they said shades of Derek White, Jalen Suggs, and Malcolm Brogdon. Had a true shooting percentage this past year of 61.6, effective field goal percentage 57.2, the offensive box score plus minus of +6, defensive box score plus minus of 5.7, and his shooting chart, definitely somebody who at the top of the key, that right wing, he shot 53.5% from three on the right wing. In the left corner, went 5 for 10 on 3-point attempts. That left wing, though, 6 of 35, not very good there. In terms of how he plays, he's got really good dribble moves, absolute dog, and is a good defender. In terms of, him on the offensive side, ISO player in the 99th percentile in terms of college basketball players, 92nd percentile in terms of handoffs. Off the screen, 95th percentile. Transition, 82nd percent. His pros, a 3-level scorer. Burries does a terrific job knocking down shots from all spots on the court. He consistently gets to the rim, creates space for himself in the mid-range, and hits his open threes. There's a certain tenacity to Burries on the perimeter. He plays with a translatable toughness while possessing ideal lateral and vertical speed, allowing him to switch on multiple positions in space. His footwork is fantastic. From the start of watching Burries' high school tape, his advanced footwork and balance shined. He deploys a wide arsenal of pivots, jabs, and hesitations to manipulate defenders and create separation. The cons for Burry, though: loose handle. Under intense pressure, Burries gets overwhelmed, causing him to turn the ball over from time to time. His shooting volume, while Burries has mechanically sound form, he struggles to get the ball up from a long range with a low attempt rate of 41.8%. Even when he does shoot, the majority of them are assisted. His key strength: Burries has many positive traits, but there is no one key skill that separates him from other talented guards. Somewhat of a, what would you say, jack of all trades, master of none. Rail said if my 2K player had those traits, I would delete. I can go back and look at some of the other players too. Let's see, Kingston Flemings. I know we were talking about Kingston Flemings here just a moment ago. His shades of Steve Francis and Sam Cassell. The pro comps, the shades of from the No Ceilings draft guide, Kingston Flemings as Steve Francis and Sam Cassell. That's legit. In terms of the pick and roll ball, like his best strength pick and roll ball handler, 78th percentile, spot up shooter, 84th percentile, and transition offensive playmaker, 82nd percentile. He's a speedster. Feel for the game. Some of his pros. Plays the game like a poised and mature floor general. Does an outstanding job of not forcing the issue. Allows plays to develop and work to create angles. Finding any potential weakness in the defense. Outstanding awareness in transition and knows how to attack soft spots and create passing lanes for easy looks for his teammates. Fantastic at getting to the mid-range and doesn't settle for shots. The defensive upside he has is phenomenal. He has a rare ability in which he doesn't lose a lot of speed when it comes to each side of the floor. Elite quickness on the defensive side of the ball as well. Can cover a lot of ground despite his thin frame. Powerful balance in his stance that can get side to side in a hurry and applying pressure. Quick hands on the ball and great anticipation. All right, the pick is in for number 11. And the wait is over for this player as well. With the 11th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Yaxel Lendeborg, senior from Michigan. Was one of the stars of the college basketball March Madness tournament this past season. Averaged 15.1 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, 51% shooting from the field, and 37.2% from deep. Our scouting report on Yaxel. An excellent frame and length with a versatile skill set. Can thrive as a connective piece on offense. Late to react at times defensively and can get caught ball watching. I do think, though, he's somebody who you insert him with this Warriors squad who, what are they going to be this year, right? Like they want to at least make another run, I would say, with Steph Curry. Is a guy like Yaxel Lendeborg going to help really, bump up this starting lineup? Like, is he an immediate starter for this Warriors squad? Possibly. I think you saw his playmaking ability in that college basketball tournament this past year. This is from the No Ceilings NBA Draft Guide. The perfect modern forward with his defensive versatility, scoring versatility, ball skills, and size. He's the type of plug-and-play forward who can immediately improve a team's depth while still having upside for improvement despite his age. He is, in NBA terms, an older player, being a senior, a 6-year senior at 23 years old. But I do think Yaxel Lendeborg is somebody who, you have Steph Curry, maybe another offensive playmaker, and somebody who can take some of the, I would say, worries off of Steph Curry. We'll get more into what the No Ceilings Draft Guide has to say on Yaxel. Let's look at his pro day numbers from this year, his testing numbers. 73 and a fourth wingspan, that 9-foot reach. Standing vertical of 25 and a half, the max vert of 32. And then you see his shooting numbers. You'd like him to be a little bit better, but, like I said, I'm not going to, dog on these guys too much for, their shooting numbers at the combine. It's not the end of the world, I would say, with that. And I'll go ahead and look at the No Ceilings Draft Guide on what they have to say around Yaxel Lendeborg. Y'all are going to like this. Talking Yaxel Lendeborg here. Their pro comps for him: Aaron Gordon, Jeremy Grant, and Mikel Bridges. Definitely an interesting three shades of in that one. spot-up game in college was at the 91st percentile. His post-up game, the 99th percentile. Top in all of college basketball. In his cutting and miscellaneous plays percentile and the pick and roll ball handler all in the 93rd percentile. His true shooting at 64.6%. His effective field goal percentage at 60.2%. His offensive box score plus minus at 9.8. And he's somebody who you saw was a leader on this Michigan squad, a versatile defender, and somebody who, the more I think about it, the more I like him with this Golden State squad, picking him there at number 11. As the Oklahoma City Thunder now on the clock at number 12, as we're getting close to the end of the lottery. Let's see. Definitely slide in there for Guy Santos at shooting forward. Where do you have Jimmy Butler? Very interested to see how that Warrior squad looks next year. As now we have the Oklahoma City Thunder on the clock. And it looks like the pick is in for Oklahoma City. There's a lot of rumors of, do they trade one of their young players, one of their young stars? Chet Holmgren did not have a good playoffs up against the Spurs, definitely in the Western Conference Finals. There's a lot of rumors of, do they look to trade Chet? There was rumors of, do they look to trade Jalen Williams? And they've kind of dispelled a lot of those rumors. Who are they going to add here in round 1 of the 2026 NBA draft, though? That is a huge question, really, to see how they compete with the Spurs, right? The Spurs are the team that everybody's chasing in the West, including your Houston Rockets. So let's see. Let's see where they go as the pick is in for the Golden State Warriors. Or not for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I should say. The pick is in at number 12. Who are they going to take? If you haven't already, go down, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed for daily Rockets content all year long. You know I got you covered here at Rockets Today. Boom. The pick is in here at number 12. Who are the Thunder going to take? They can go a multitude of different directions here at number 12, the Oklahoma City Thunder. As I can go ahead and show y'all the first set of picks so far in tonight's draft. Here's the top 8 once again. AJ Dybantsa at 1, Darryn Peterson at 2, Cameron Boozer at 3, Caleb Wilson at 4, Keaton Wagler at 5, Mikel Brown Jr. at 6, Darius Acuff Jr. at 7, Kingston Flemings there at 8. And then with the latest picks, you have Morez Johnson Jr., the big man from Michigan, joining his head coach Dusty May with the Dallas Mavericks. Brayden Burries, guard from Arizona, going to the Milwaukee Bucks. Yaxel Lendeborg, forward from Michigan, at number 11. And then, wow, the Thunder are getting big, folks. Maybe a Wemby stopper, you never know. With the 12th pick, the Thunder select Aday Mara, big man from Michigan. Tell me you want to guard Wembanyama without telling me you want to get somebody to guard Wembanyama. The 7'3" big man from Michigan goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. to add another defensive piece to guard Victor Wembanyama. Wow. I actually love that pick from Oklahoma City. You have everything you need. You have really good starters. You have good depth. Can you get somebody who can help you defend Wemby? Tallest player at the combine, 7'3", without shoes. He's a dominant defensive force in the paint who moves his feet incredibly well for his size. The most intriguing trait might be his ability to pass at that size. Does not project as a floor spacer in the NBA. But if you're the Thunder, you don't need that. You need him to be able to guard Victor Wembanyama. And I think this might mean that Isaiah Hartenstein might be on the move from Oklahoma City. They might end up trading Aday Mara. You never know. But I think this is their backup big man of the future. They have Chet. Now they have Aday Mara who they can bring in to guard Victor Wembanyama. You look at his stats this past season for the Michigan Wolverines, 12.1 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists. Those 2.6 blocks, that's what I'm talking about. The 2.6 blocks, that is what the Oklahoma City Thunder are looking at and going, yep, I want that on my team. I want that. He has the measurables, 7'3", a reported 7'7" wingspan and 9 foot 9-inch standing reach. His size and length really allow him to play at the rim level with ease, towering over opponents to catch lobs and high entry passes. And this is somebody who, like I mentioned, you want somebody to stop Victor Wembanyama. This could possibly be your guy. This is what the No Ceilings NBA Draft Guide had to say. Massive 7'3", big, whose rare combination of size, shot blocking, productivity, and passing vision makes him one of the few players in this draft who has the upside to be both an NBA playmaking hub and primary rim protector. His pro day numbers, as 3 Michigan players go, 3 Michigan players go in the lottery in the 2026 NBA draft. Obviously, a reason why they made it to and won the national championship during March Madness. His testing numbers, that 7'6" wingspan, the 9'9" reach, shooting, not horrible, right? Yeah, as somebody who can also be a spot-up three-point shooter, 31 of 49 at the combine. Not bad. And you have that max vert of 28, which you add that to his 7'3" body, the 7'6" wingspan. You're looking at somebody who possibly can really affect shots and be somebody who can take on Victor Wembanyama at the rim. So, I mean, what a pick there. And I think that's just what the doctor ordered if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, next on the clock. Once again, it is the Milwaukee Bucks on the clock, as we have 2 more picks in the lottery before we get into the back half of the first round of the draft. The bosses are saying I need to get to 30 likes to keep on giving you live coverage. So if you haven't already, go down, hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video if you haven't already. In terms of Aday Mara, the NBA No Ceilings Draft Guide says he has shades of Andrew Bogut, Donovan Clingan, and Spencer Hawes. And not only is he a rim protector, but I think he's somebody who plays with good, like somebody who's a good defensive player, but also plays with a level of finesse, like being able to pass the ball, being able to be somebody who can help on the offensive side. I think he's somebody who's going to definitely be a player. I think this is partly going to be the out of Isaiah Harnstein with the Thunder. Now, the one part about Aday Mara that might hurt him a little bit, might hurt his draft stock, is the fact of he's a big man. He's 7'3". I don't know how he's going to do if he gets caught in pick and rolls, right? Like if he has to guard really good players on the perimeter, that's going to be a struggle for Aday Mara. Like he's going to have a problem with that. His footwork is going to be tough, especially if teams go play a little small ball on him. You know, we talk about his shot blocking ability, and maybe that might be hard for him to guard Wimby on the perimeter if he's shaking and baking. Kareem says, at least with Daryl Morey, he was a risk taker on building teams. If Stone doesn't get it right this year, he needs to be gone. I mean, Stone took a risk in trading for Kevin Durant. I'll give him that. I'll at least give him that. But, yeah, I mean, I hope the Rockets can make a move as well. I hope they can as well. All right, the pick is in. With the 13th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks are selecting Nate Ament, forward from Tennessee. 6'9" and a half inches, 16.7 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, 2.3 assists, 39.9 from the field. Kareem says that's one splash. We missed out on a lot of others. I get that. But you also want to play your young stars. Nate Ament, though, with the pick for the Milwaukee Bucks here at 13, 19 years old, a freshman for the Tennessee Volunteers this past year. 6'9.5", 210 pounds. Can definitely add some weight and more muscle to his frame. A little bit lanky. And kind of not, I'm not going to say it reminds me of Giannis, but, you know, a lanky, tall, you know, player who I think young can come in and really, you know, up his game at the next level. Nate Ament, our scouting report on him, elite athletic profile for a scoring forward that works primarily beyond the arc, also shows flashes of control as a ball handler and playmaker, inconsistent play in his lone college season, so up and down year. He was a freshman, though, so obviously a younger player who is still looking to kind of, you know, get into his own a little bit. And a lot of people thought it might have done him well to go back to Tennessee and play one more season for the Volunteers, but he decided, and probably rightfully so, him being a lottery pick, that he would go ahead and go into the NBA draft. This past year for Tennessee, 29.7 minutes per game. He shot 39.9% from the field, 33.3 from three, and those are the numbers you see, right? Like very inconsistent play from Ament this past year at Tennessee. Played well. I'll say that he played well in terms of the tournament this year, but still somebody who I think you'd like to see as a more consistent player. The No Ceilings draft guide says shades of Kyle Kuzma, Channing Frye, and Kelly Olynyk. So definitely an eclectic three there in terms of guys he's compared to. They have a write-up on him. This is what the No Ceilings draft guide has to say. Ament is a wonderful complementary player due to his array of skills and combination of size and length. In a reduced role, Ament could really thrive as a secondary playmaker and play finisher. So I do think he's somebody, when you're looking at him, it makes sense for the Bucks, right? Because they're not in win-now mode. The Bucks, they're looking to build for the future. And with a guy like Nate Ament, he's somebody who you can take, and I think it's the stupidest thing ever. They have him in a Heat hat right now on stage. He's not going to the Miami Heat. Like, why do we have to do this? He's going to the Bucks. But Nate Ament, though, like, he's not going to be rushed, right? Like, he'll be able to develop. Great size, length, and athleticism, but just needs to kind of put it together a little bit more. And he has a good mid-range shot, has a complete game, but, just very inconsistent. And that's why he falls down a little bit in this draft to 14. I do think, with him being able to, him being able to develop, I think it's the best thing for him, being able to go to a team that doesn't need his production right away. He can develop, he can grow, he can build, and be somebody who is able to grow with this team in Milwaukee and one day be a really good player. But I don't think that's going to be his rookie season in Milwaukee. Here are the picks so far. The top 8, not a lot of surprises. AJ Dybantsa. You have Darryn Peterson, Cameron Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Keaton Wagler, Mikel Brown Jr., Darius Acuff Jr., Kingston Flemings in your top 8 there. Then you have Morez Johnson Jr., the big man from Michigan, Brayden Burries, Yaxel Lendeborg, Aday Mara, and Nate Ament. Here we go. Next up on the clock is the Charlotte Hornets. So let's see where the Hornets go on this one. Pick 14, the last pick in the lottery. Let me know. Is there anybody you want to fall to the Rockets in round 2? JT says Malik Thomas for the Rockets, ? Possibly, right? I'm waiting to see who falls down. I'm really hoping Christian Anderson keeps on falling. I'd love to see him get to the 20s and maybe the Rockets trade up and get him. That would be a incredible player for the Rockets if he's able to keep on falling down. You said, who did you say? Malik Thomas? Let's see. Malik Thomas from Arkansas. They're saying shades of Bradley Beal, Malik Beasley, and Jacoby Walter. Not bad. Good shooting splits. Really good from 3. I think you might be onto something, JT. Malik Thomas, if he's able to fall down to the Rockets. Movement shooter with two-way value. Malik Thomas pairs one of the NBA's most coveted skills with improved defense and emerging playmaking. His offensive scalability and lineup versatility give him a strong chance to become a valuable rotation wing. I'd be cool with that. Shooting is one of his pros. His cons is his strength, his rim pressure, and athleticism. But, I mean, besides that, budding defensive player, 6'4", 190 pounds, freshman. I'd be cool with that. And here we go with the 14th pick in the 2026 NBA draft. The Charlotte Hornets select Haynes Steinbach, big man from Washington. 20-year-old freshman from Würzburg, Germany. 6'10", 248 pounds. 18.5 points per game, 11.8 rebounds per game, 1.2 blocks, 57% from the field. Steinbach, not bad numbers from him either. Let's see what our draft expert, Nick Roloff, had to say on the big man from Washington. Uses his strong lower body and lengthy frame really well on the glass. Effective and efficient working in the post. Not as consistent on the perimeter and needs to improve his connective passing. Let's see. Let's see what they have to say about Steinbach. They said shades of Jakob Podol, Jahlil Okafor, and Cody Zeller. Very interesting. His stats from this past year, as I said, 18.5 points per game, those 11.8 rebounds per game. Definitely something that the Hornets are going to like because they wanted a big man, right? Their backcourt is pretty much solidified. They have LaMelo Ball. They have Con Knippel. And then at the 3, they have Brandon Miller. So they needed more big men, and that's exactly what they're getting in Haynes Steinbach, who gives you 1.2 blocks per game, 1.1 steals per game. Let's look at what the No Ceilings draft guide has to say on him. Steinbach is 6'11", double-double machine who plays on a limited on-ball role, but should make an impact in the NBA right away as a role player who can rebound, finish plays around the basket, and make the occasional jumper. Definitely somebody who I think fits really well with this Hornets squad. They're young. They want to, build a winner, to build a young team similar, akin to what the Thunder did. And I think this is definitely a player that can help them in the long run because they needed big men. And he was one of the best ones available. He's the leading rebounder in the nation. Definitely has a feel for boxing out, getting the boards on either side. He's versatile, is able to, post up, also able to pass from the post and be somebody who can not only go out there and give you a little pick and roll action, but also post up from down low and be able to pick apart the defense with his passing ability from that area. I think definitely will fit well into this, young Hornets squad. I'm excited to see what he can do. The Hornets are an exciting young team, so very interesting to see how he fits. Let's go and look at the best available now, as at the bottom of the screen you'll see the ticker rolling from the different selections already made. The best available, according to our guy Nick Roloff, and on the clock right now, is going to be the Chicago Bulls once again with pick 15. He has Labaron Philon Jr. at his number 6 overall player, still available on the board right now. I wonder if that's the pick for the Chicago Bulls. They went with Caleb Wilson, the big man from UNC, with their first pick. Maybe they go with guard Labaron Philon Jr. with their second pick. They also could get Cameron Carr, the guard from Baylor. Dailyn Swain, the forward from Texas. Kareem Lopez, the forward from Mexico. Let's continue on with the best available. This is the guy who I really hope continues to fall. I'm a big Christian Anderson guy. Jaden Quintance, big man from UK. Chris Sinak Jr., another forward from U of H. Bennett Stirtz, the guard from Iowa, could all be options. Trevin Brazil, big man from Arkansas, number 9 on his best available. Terrace Reed Jr., the big man from UConn, was one of their best players during that March Madness run. Zuby Ejiofor, big man from St. John's. Koa Pete, the forward from Arizona. And we continue to go on with Sergio de Larrea, guard from ESPN, from Spain. Isaiah Evans, guard from Duke. Ebuka Okorie, guard from Stanford. And then Malik Thomas, who somebody had just mentioned. JT, I'm liking that option if he falls to the Rockets there in round 2. Chugs, me and Ron Raspberry miss you from King Javier. What's up, man? Chugs, we miss you, brother. Hey, miss y'all too. I definitely need to do a final stream with y'all. and just have a crazy happy hour party if y'all are down. Definitely got to get that going at some point this summer because obviously now I'm hosting full time. I host Rockets and Texans. So yeah, I miss y'all too, man. We had some great times, some crazy nights, some crazy parties, man. Edits, are you gonna stream the second round tomorrow for the Rockets? Yes, I will. I will be streaming round 2 for the Rockets. We're 1 like away from 30 likes. Can we get there? Help me out. Prove to my bosses that it's a good decision to let me go live here on the channel. But yeah, I'll definitely be going live there tomorrow for round 2 as the Rockets have 2 selections tomorrow. Let's see. All righty. Wow, they go another forward. I thought they were going to go guard here. With the 15th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Dailyn Swain, forward from Texas. A 6'6", 211-pound junior, 20 years old this past year for UT, 17.3 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 54.2% from, I think he's actually right here. Yep. According to the No Ceilings Draft Guide, they're saying shades of Kelly Oubre, Tari Eason, and Najee Marshall. Let's see what our guy here at Chat Sports, Nick Roloff, has to say on Dailyn Swain. Great ISO scorer with athleticism to drive and finish around the rim. Flashes of creation as a passer off the dribble. Active defensively, though he could still face problems against stronger players in the National Basketball Association. His numbers this past year for the Longhorns. As I mentioned, 17.3 points per game. Those 7.5 rebounds per game could be big. Assists per game, 3.6, 1.6 steals, and 54.2 shooting from the field. I'm interested to see how this works out. They go with 2 forwards, the Bulls do, with their 2 top 15 picks in this year's draft. Is that going to, give them a trajectory to be a winning squad this year, as they have been kind of down the past couple of seasons? His testing numbers at the combine: wingspan of 6'10", reach of 8'8", the vertical standing vert of 28, the max vert of 36.5. His shooting numbers from the combine: 22 of 30 off the dribble, spot up 14 of 25, 3-pointers 29 of 49. His pros: downhill pressure. One thing that Swain has always thrived at is getting to the bucket. Swain's long, explosive first step is paired with impressive body control. Consistently broke through defenses at college. Being an NBA-level athlete, Swain's inside gravity should get him minutes at the next level with the Chicago Bulls. Has a ton of defensive versatility. Athleticism and build are extremely ideal for modern NBA defenses. Being able to leverage both to switch onto most players. He covers ground well, disrupts matchups with his length and his real vertical pop. So they go with 2 athletes here in round 1 with Dailyn Swain and Caleb Wilson, both dudes who can jump out the gym, both dudes who are able to play some defense. And in transition, he's an upper echelon athlete in terms of impacting the game on the open court. He turns defense into offense, filtering through lanes and gliding up the floor. Now, same with Caleb Wilson. His shooting kind of one of his weaknesses, right? That, his decision-making, and his handle are 3 kind of, I would say, cons to his game, right? But when you look at his game at Texas, decent shooting behind the arc, but you'd like it to improve, like him to be a better shooter. Let's see how this works out for the Bulls. They're going multiple big men now, as the Memphis Grizzlies now on the clock. The past couple picks, as you see up here on screen, since Brayden Burries, there hasn't been a guard taken, right? really in the past 7 picks, right? You go big man from Michigan, Brayden Burries guard, and then forward, Yaxel Lendeborg, big man, Aday Mara, forward, Nate Ament, big man, Haynes Steinbach, forward, Dailyn Swain. Not a lot of guards going off the board, which is great news for your Houston Rockets. We don't want to see the guards off the board. We would love for them to stay and maybe have a pick of some really good point guards. I'd love that if that was a possibility. Would love to be able to have some of these guards fall to the Rockets there in round 2. That would be huge. Now, before we continue on with our coverage of the 2026 NBA Draft, quick word from our sponsor over at Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app out there. I love Prize Picks, and I know you will too. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. It's super simple, and you will absolutely love it. I know you will. We have the World Cup going on right now, obviously. Great times here. And throughout the World Cup, this is actually a lineup for my guy, Jeffrey Cooperstein, and Mbappe. He's already been killing it. You have Lionel Messi. He scored 3 goals in 1 game. He just needs Bruno Fernandes to win $60. You can follow my guy Coop. You can follow me on Prize Picks as well. Whether it's for the World Cup or whether it's for, basketball season, football season, baseball is in full swing right now. They also have golf, tennis, esports, whatever you want. They got you covered with our friends over at Prize Picks. New users, listen up. Download the Prize Picks app today with the link in the comments and description and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Big Raz, Chugs, are you streaming every NBA game next year or just the big one? Just the big ones for me. New channel starting out. I'm going to try to get to as many games as I possibly can, but it'll probably be more on a big game basis for me in terms of the Rockets live streams. Now, if they start popping off, you never know. I could definitely look to get more streams going. But yeah, right now it won't be every single game, but we'll see. Here we go. Akeem Dilius says, what do you guys think about the Rockets? Is they're in a mid situation? Is it crazy? I think they're in a decent situation, but it's just, choosing what do you want to do? Like what avenue do you want to go, right? Like you could continue to build around your young players and see how they develop in Alperen Şengün and Jabari Smith Jr. and, Amen Thompson. I still believe in those young guys. Reed Shepherd, another one. Or do you kind of trade those guys away and go into more of a win now approach, right? Like if you are thinking about, wanting to be more of a win now team, do you trade those guys away for a superstar, right? Like that's the question. Like how do you want to build this squad moving forward? Now, the Grizzlies, they already took Cameron Boozer at pick 3 earlier tonight. Who are they going to take here at pick 16? We are officially at the halfway point of round 1. And it looks like the pick is in. Who are the Grizzlies going to take here in round 1? Real XO, last time the Rockets had the 16th pick, they took Alperen Şengün. Just a fun fact. Yeah, I think that turned out to be a really good pick, regardless of what people say about Alperen Şengün. I think he's a good player. King Javier, Chugs, can you be on the show this Friday? Happy hour at 5 p.m. Eastern time with special guest Sherlock Raider on the Raiders Report. I might stop in. I won't spend the whole time there. I don't want to take away from, Sherlock and what he's got going on. And I know Mitch already has a plan for like what he wants to do that day. I'll be on a couple, like I'll show up here and there. But I don't want to take away from Sherlock's day. Cause I know if I show up, it'll kind of turn into, my goodbye party. And I don't want that. I'd rather it, be a day for Sherlock that he can enjoy and like be able to chill in the studio and do his stuff. So, Akeem Dilius, what do you think about JB for KD and Tari because the Celtics don't want Şengün? I don't know. I think they would want Şengün. Wow. Okay. I just said no guards have been taken. And there we go with the 16th pick in the 2026 NBA draft. The Memphis Grizzlies select Bennett Stirtz, guard from Iowa. I just said not a lot of guards going. And as soon as I said that, of course, the Grizzlies go ahead and select Bennett Stirtz out of Iowa. 22-year-old redshirt senior this past year, 19.8 points per game, 4.4 assists per game. Now, I know it says, not the Grizzlies. Wait, how does it say Oklahoma City? Is somebody who I think is going to be a good player and is a smart player. You look at the scouting report for him. Oh, wow. And he's getting traded to the Thunder. No, that is correct. He's getting traded to the Thunder. The trades, and we'll take a look at that here in a second. High-level shooter with a lower efficiency rate because of his volume was so high. A cerebral player, always makes the right play. Struggled defensively, though, partially due to his offensive workload. And he was the Iowa offense, the straw that stirred the drink for that Hawkeyes team, and is a playmaker, right? He's the guy who had the ball in his hand for most of the game for Iowa, and now he heads to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's see. Now, we don't have the full details, but all right for the Grizzlies, I guess. The Grizzlies get 2 second-round picks. And the Thunder get pick 16. I mean, if this is what we're doing, can the Rockets move up here in round 1? Like, can we package our 2 first to move up? Let's do that. No, Suavemente, I'm not leaving Chat Sports. I'm just no longer going to be the producer for the Raiders Report. So that would be my goodbye party for the Raiders. I am going to be a full-time host for the Rockets and Texans. I'll probably be able to stop in from time to time. Okay. Here's the full trade. I was like, that trade makes no sense. All right. All right. So they just moved the spot back. So now the Grizzlies are picking at 17. I was like, if they're going to get 2 firsts or 2 seconds to move up to 16, why can't the Rockets do that? Go get Christian Anderson. So this was the full trade. It was the Grizzlies on the clock, but they traded back 1 pick. They acquired 2 second-round picks to let the Thunder trade up and get him at 16. So now this 17th pick will be for the Memphis Grizzlies. Kareem J. Sanders says, let's go get Kareem Lopez. Maybe are you just saying that because your name's Kareem? I'm kidding. On the clock now, the Memphis Grizzlies. As I can take you through the picks that have happened so far. First 8 picks in the NBA draft tonight. AJ Dybantsa, Darryn Peterson, Cameron Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Keaton Wagler, Mikel Brown Jr., Darius Acuff, who I think he's going to be that guy, Kingston Flemings. And then you go to the last 8 picks. A lot of big men off the board, which is good for the Rockets. They're not necessarily looking for a big man. They want these guards to fall. So Brayden Burries at number 10. Labaron Philon still available. The guard from Alabama. Would love to see him continue to fall in the Rockets. If I'm the Rockets, do you consider moving up and getting Philon? If you could, maybe trade up or see what you could do. Would love to get Labaron Philon. Philon. Because he spits hot fire. Sorry. But no, for real, I'd love to go get Labaron Philon if we can. A great 3-point shooter, sign me up. And he is, in terms of the best available on the board. Good news for the Rockets that a lot of these guards are falling. You need somebody. Maybe that's a Labaron Philon, a Cameron Carr. I love Christian Anderson out of Texas Tech. And I'd love Ebuka Okorie, Malik Thomas, Alan Graves, Isaiah Evans. Give me one of these guards to fall. That would be awesome. Come on. Keep on falling, guards. Keep on falling. As the pick is in for the Memphis Grizzlies, they traded back 1 pick with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Who's it going to be? Excuse me. Excusez-moi. Let's see who goes here. The pick is in for the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's see who it's going to be. Ooh, sorry. Ebuka Okorie. I told y'all he's going to go earlier than you think. Ebuka Okorie going to the Memphis Grizzlies. Labaron Philon continues to fall. Wow. Here we go. Oh, wait, we have another trade. This is to the Pistons? And we have another trade. This is now, okay, this is the Pistons pick. So the Grizzlies continuing to trade back. Okay. The Pistons get the number 17 pick, Ebuka Okorie, and the Grizzlies, they get pick 21 and 3. What are they doing with all these second-round picks? Like, what are you going to do with all these? What? Like, Okay, they get that's something. But all right, it's gonna be to the Detroit Pistons. Let's break down the selection here of Ebuka Okorie, guard from Stanford. He's definitely somebody who I was hoping would fall a little bit. 23.2 points per game, 3.6 assists, 1.6 steals. Would have loved for him to fall a little bit, but Labaron Philon Jr. continues to fall. But Okorie, like I said, he was rising up draft boards fast. According to the NBA No Ceilings draft guide, shades of Terry Rozier, CJ McCollum, and Dennis Smith Jr. What a three. Our guy here at Chat Sports, Nick Roloff, has a scouting report on him as well. Explosive top-end speed, vertical ability, and change of direction. Great body control to finish around the rim. Will face challenges being an efficient go-to scorer with a smaller frame. His ranking for him, the 13th overall guard, 29th player in the draft, but he goes all the way 17 to the Detroit Pistons. This past year, now, he was playing, a Stanford schedule, not an SEC or Big Ten schedule, but still 23.2 points per game, that 3.6 assists, 1.6 steals, the 46.5 field goal percentage, 5.7 threes attempted, and 3-point percentage of 35.4. Let's see what the No Ceilings draft guide had to say on Okorie. A dynamic shot creator, Okorie blends quickness, length, and advanced ball handling with the ability to create for teammates. His combination of self-creation, passing feel, and a translatable shooting profile gives him intriguing upside as an offensive lead guard. And according to their pros and cons, his self-creation is one of his biggest pros, is able to create his own shot, rim pressure. Okorie's handle, quickness, and strength, and nearly 6'8" wingspan combined to make him an elite rim pressure guard. Nearly 50% of his shot attempts came at the basket this past season for the Stanford Cardinal. He also has great vision. Beyond the scoring upside, Okorie has also shown excellent flashes as a playmaker. He ranked in the 83rd percentile operating in isolation when including passing possessions, highlighting his ability to create advantages for himself and his teammates. His cons: tough college context. Will Okorie showcase a number of intriguing abilities. Stanford's roster construction did little to help optimize his strengths, and he's not plus size, right? In a guard-heavy draft, Okorie measuring at just over 6'1", that 6'8" wingspan definitely helps him with his 6'1" frame. Makes his pathway a bit narrower than some larger guards available, and his defensive consistency needs to, be a step up. He needs to be able to, be better on the defensive end and be able to hold his own on a more consistent basis. But, he is somebody who he was first team all ACC in 2026, all ACC all rookie team, broke ACC freshman records for single season scoring, averaging, and he had 8 30-point games this past year, so can definitely put the biscuit in the basket. Can Ebuka Okorie, as I'm looking at some of these top guards for the Rockets, right? Like, in terms of, as now the Hornets back on the clock at 18. I'd love for Labaron Philon Jr. to fall. Come on. There we go. The 18th pick is in. The Hornets are selecting Christian Anderson. That's who I wanted. the guard from Texas Tech. Damn, bro. The Hornets just have shooters everywhere. This is a guy who I really wanted. The best three-point shooter in the draft goes to the Charlotte Hornets. Man, they are going to have a squad next year, aren't they? I love what this Hornets team is doing. You add Christian Anderson, who has shades of Jamal Murray with his three-point ability, can light it up from beyond the arc. Shot 47.2% from the field, 18.5 points per game, 7.4 assists per game. Also a good shot creator for others. This is what our guy Nick Roloff had to say. Really solid playmaker and elite shooter off the dribble or catch. Great wingspan, helps his projection. On the defensive side, we'll need to add muscle at the next level. But man, the rich get richer in terms of the Hornets and their young shooting ability. I love that pick for the Charlotte Hornets, man. That might be my favorite pick so far tonight. They are going to be able to shoot the heck out of the basketball. As we look at his numbers last year for the Red Raiders, 7.9 attempts. He shot 41.5% from deep on 7.9 attempts per game. This dude was absolutely lighting it up in college and played in the Big 12, one of the toughest conferences in terms of basketball. He is the best deep range shooter in this draft class. And man, he is definitely going to light it up with guys like LaMelo Ball. Dude, him and Con Knipple together on the same squad. Talk about shooting. Man, this is what the No Ceilings draft guide had to say on Anderson. One of the most lethal point guards in pick and roll offense, able to score off pull-up jump shots from inside or outside of the arc, make passes with either hand, and makes everyone else around him better. So, I mean, I think this dude is definitely going to be a guy. I think this is a dog, man. I'm not going to lie. His combine numbers, a 6'6 wingspan, 8-foot reach. His vertical standing 31 inches, the max vert of 40.5 inches. Shooting 27 of 30 off the dribble, 17 of 25 spot up, 34 of 53 on three-point shooting at the combine. Man, the Grizzlies, they just got a lot better. According to the NBA Ceilings draft guide, great pick and roll scorer, pull-up shooting off the charts, on and off ball versatility. His defense and rebounding are the two areas of concern. But, on a young team like the Hornets, I think you add more scoring. This team, they're going to be a fun watch next year. And now, next up on the clock is going to be the Toronto Raptors at pick 19. Toronto Raptors here at 19. Oof. Then it's going to be the San Antonio Spurs. They're at pick 20. Rel, I don't think Stone is hungry enough this offseason. I believe we're going to run it back for the most part. I think so, too. I think if I had to put my money on it, I think the Rockets are definitely going to be a team that just tries to run it back. Even though I will say, the more Labaron Philon Jr. falls in this draft, the more I would be interested if I was the Houston Rockets to try to trade back up into round one. Big Raz, what picks do we have? We have pick 39 and 53. We have 2 second-round picks. Now, I wonder if this is the area where Philon goes. Because I spit hot fire. And it says they keep on taking our Texas players. It's because they're good, man. They're good. Texas Tech. There's also a good guard from Baylor. Let's see who this pick is for the Raptors. Hopefully Philon continues to fall. The pick is in. As the closer we get to the end of round one, the more likely the Rockets are to make a selection. They don't have a round one pick right now, but could surely trade into round one, especially the end of round one, if a team really doesn't want to make a pick, or like the Grizzlies just won a ton of second round picks. Sure. Wow, okay. He continues to fall with the 19th pick. The Raptors select forward Allen Graves from Santa Clara. So Philon continues to fall. Won Sixth Man of the Year. 2024 Louisiana Gatorade Player of the Year. Allen Graves is the pick at 19. And it's interesting because you don't often see guys who are sixth men. I mean, he's a freshman at Santa Clara who was a sixth man of the year, but only averaged 11.8 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, shooting 51% from the field. It's not like he absolutely lit it up in college. So definitely more of a, projection pick with Allen Graves, thinking that you can bring him in and, at, a young age of, you can bring him in and maybe develop him in your system. As, like I said, he wasn't even a starter at Santa Clara this past season. This is what our guy Nick Roloff had to say on him. Modern NBA skill set offensively with clean shooting mechanics and passing ability, constantly around the ball on defense, bottom tier athlete at the position, which may limit his defense impact. He's had him at the number 10 forward in the draft and number 31 overall prospect. His numbers from last year, like I said, they're not going to jump off the page because you didn't start, right? Like, he only 22 minutes a game. Decent impact, though. 1.9 steals is not nothing. He's a good defensive player, a good two-way player, a 3-and-D wing, 11.8 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, that 1.9 steals. He shot 51% from the field and 41% from three. So definitely showed flashes of, really good play at Santa Clara this past year. According to the No Ceilings draft guy, this is what they have to say on Allen Graves. Smart, hardworking fixers on both ends of the floor are both 82 and 16 game players. Graves is the type of forward who can generate extra possessions before helping his team finish off those increasingly positive plays. So definitely somebody who, like I said, is more of a projection pick for the Toronto Raptors. Interesting to see how he develops. The No Ceilings pod said gives shades of Boris Diaw and Jay Crowder. Those are two completely different players, but I see more of the Jay Crowder comparison with Allen Graves. Next up is going to be the San Antonio Spurs. Hopefully the Rockets trade into round one. Would love that. Would love that. Spurs there at number 20. Can the Rockets trade into round one with Philon falling down? If you're the Spurs, who are you getting here at 20? Rel XO, do we want Ja in a Rockets jersey next year? The only reason I say no is because, I don't know if he pairs well with Ament Thompson. You need a guard who can really score from the outside and is a threat from 3, and that's not really Ja. He's more of a slashing scorer, somebody who's going to drive to the bucket, and that's very similar to what Ament Thompson does, right? So, he's a ball handler, somebody who can get his, but at his price tag, like I don't think you'll have to trade a lot for him, but money-wise, like I don't know if it makes sense to pair him with Ament Thompson rather than, another guard like I really like from the Raptors, Emmanuel Quickly. He shoots a ton of threes, is able to score from deep. I think he fits way better, especially also like with not the off the court issues. I think Emmanuel Quickly is a better choice for the Rockets to pair with Ament Thompson rather than a Ja Morant, personally. I don't know what the Raptors would want in a Emmanuel Quickly trade, but Kareem says, I'll take Ja Morant over FEV any day. Yeah, you're not wrong there. All right. The San Antonio Spurs pick is in. Who are they going to select here at pick 20? Taking a look, we'll take a quick look at the best available before the Spurs make their pick. We'll take a look at the picks so far. If you've missed any of the draft, I got you covered. And we'll take a look at the best available left on the board. Like I said, I'm hoping these guards fall. We have Labaron Philon Jr. from Alabama. Rolly had him as the number 6 player in the draft. He's still on the board. Cameron Carr, the guard from Baylor. Kareem Lopez, the forward from Mexico. Chris Sinak Jr., the forward from Houston. Jaden Quintance from Kentucky. Trevin Brazil, big man from Arkansas. Terrace Reed, the big man from UConn. Zuby Ejiofor, big man from St. John's. Koa Pete, forward from Arizona. Sergio de Larrea, guard from Spain. Isaiah Evans, guard from Duke. Malik Thomas, somebody mentioned him. I would love if he fell to the Rockets at 39 as well. And Henry Vassar, big man from UConn, or not from UConn. I was reading Alex Caravan. Big man from UNC, Alex Caravan, forward from UConn. Baba Miller, forward from Cincinnati, and Tyler Nickel, guard from Vandy. Pick is in with the 20th pick in the NBA draft. The San Antonio Spurs select Jaden Quintance. Big man from Kentucky, 6'9", sophomore, 253 pounds. He only played in 4 games this past year, so a little bit of a wild card going into this draft class. Still young, though, 18 years young. Cleveland, Ohio native. Let's see what our scouting department here at Chat Sports had to say on the big man from Kentucky. Explosive in physicality, impressive athlete, makes life hard for opponents on the glass, has some mobility and switchability on defense. Ceiling will hinge on his health and stability and could be hurt by his shooting limitations. Now, as I mentioned, only played in 4 games this past year. 5 points, 5 rebounds. I mean, you can't really go off a ton based off, his play last year, but also, this is a Spurs team that made it to the finals, so it's not like they really need somebody who's going to be an instant impact, and this is somebody who you could maybe stash and let develop on your bench a little bit. This is what the No Ceilings draft guide had to say on him. If you need to swing for the stars in this draft, why not gamble on potential franchise-changing defender who can be a dominant athlete at the center position when healthy, has some room to grow offensively, though. Now, like I said, this is a perfect pick for the Spurs because, like I said, a team that just made it to the finals, you're not necessarily looking for an instant impact guy in this year's draft. And Quinance isn't going to be that. But I think can definitely be a good player, a good defender for you. The draft guide says shades of Robert Williams III, the Time Lord, and Tyson Chandler. Definitely somebody who is a defensive demon. And you add that to this Spurs team, definitely have a place for him there. His testing numbers at the combine: 7'5" wingspan, the 9'1" reach, shooting off the dribble, 11 for 30. Yeah, see, like you're not getting him for his offense. You're getting him for his defensive versatility, and you never know. This could be a stash player that the Spurs put on their G League squad and ends up, being a player that we don't really see this season for the San Antonio Spurs. All right, on the clock now at pick 21. Maybe the Memphis Grizzlies. They've traded back twice so far in round one, so we'll see. Y'all let me know. Do you want me to stay for the rest of round one? We got 10 more picks here in round one. Let me know. Hoping the Rockets trade into round one. If you could like the video, we got 76 people watching, 38 likes. If you want me to stay, I'm happy to stay. Keep on breaking down the rest of round one. But if you could help me out, like the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That helps me out a ton. Tells my bosses that I'm doing a good job. Rel says stay for the Rockets trade. Hey, I'm hoping so. Hopefully the Rockets trade into the back end of round one with Labaron Philon Jr., the guard from Alabama, continuing to fall. Big Raz just got home from work. Got to clean up. Hey, appreciate you, Ron Raspberry, an absolute real one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Smash that like button and the noti bell, please and thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see who the Grizzlies take finally here, as they've traded back twice. And will Labaron Philon Jr. finally get taken? Dude, yeah, bring me Labaron Philon. An ISO score that can absolutely light it up from deep. Hell yeah. There's another shooting guard. Need it. Need more guards that can shoot for the Rockets. Add on with Reed Shepherd. The pick is in for the Memphis Grizzlies at pick 21. Lucky, it's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies picking at 21. Condition base with the super chat. Let's go. Said, I'm so geeked for the NFL that I didn't know the draft was tonight. Well, appreciate it, man. I'll throw you up here in just a moment, condition based. First super chat of the night. Let's go. Pick is in. Oh, somebody was saying this guy earlier. With the 21st pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Kareem Lopez, forward for the New Zealand Breakers, hails from Hermosillo, Mexico, 19 years old, 6'8", 221 pounds. And for the New Zealand Breakers, that professional league overseas, averaged 11.9 points per game, 6.1 rebounds, 1.9 assists, shooting just a tick under 50% from the field. Our scouting report here at Chat Sports has him as the number 6 forward, number 16 overall player in this year's draft. NBA-ready frame with high motor and lots of untapped potential. Strong driver to the rim, cuts off the ball well. Questionable decision-making and shooting, but there is upside with his play-making. As we look a little closer look at his numbers from this past season, and 25.6 minutes per game, had 6.1 rebounds. That steal and block per game, 1.2 to 1.0, and shot 49.4% from deep. No ceilings, draft guide has this to say. Lopez is a 6'9" forward who has been productive at a high-level pro league at just 19 years old, making an impact as a spot-up shooter, interior finisher, and offensive rebounder while creating defensive events at a solid rate. So definitely somebody let's see. My guy, condition based with the super chat. Sorry, I just had to pull up the super chat. As Kareem Lopez is the pick for the Memphis Grizzlies at 21. On the clock next is going to be the 76ers at pick 22. Condition based with the $10 super chat. I'm so geeked for the NFL season. I didn't know the draft was tonight. Yeah, it also doesn't help that the Rockets don't have a first-round pick, so definitely a little less juice. So, Rail says Raphael Stone better be cooking something up. I hope so, man. I hope so. We are cooking as a team. I don't believe we can beat the Thunder or Spurs or a rebuilding Lakers team. We are cooked as a team. We'll see, man. We'll see. Philon Jr. still falling. Man, oh man. The 76ers on the clock right now. And I'm giddy because these guards keep on falling. If we can get some guards to fall. Our draft guy here at Chat Sports, Nick Roloff, said because he has a small frame, teams think that he could struggle with the physicality of the NBA level. So maybe that's the reason why he's falling. let's look at our best available right now. Labaron Philon was the number 6 player on our draft board. He is still available. Same with Cameron Carr, who is number 14, guard from Baylor. A couple forwards, Chris Sinak Jr., Trevin Brazil, Terrace Reed Jr., big man from UConn, big man from St. John's, Zuby Ejiofor, Koa Pete, another big man, and guard Sergio de Larrea. Also guard Isaiah Evans from Duke. Malik Thomas, who somebody said earlier here on the program, I would love if he could fall to the Rockets in round 2. Richie Saunders, guard from BYU is another name. Tyler Nickel, guard from Vandy. So definitely some options for the Rockets. They want to go guard. Here's actually the top 8 guards available according to our draft experts here at Chat Sports. As the 76ers pick is in. Who will they take here at 22? Ament ain't going for that, pulling him straight to the bench. Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't playing Reed Shepherd for those reasons, I think he might have a hard time with Labaron Philon Jr. Kareem, I don't think you can move Şengün to the 4 because he's not as good of a shooter as you'd like. The pick is in for the 76ers. Cameron Carr is another player who I would be fond of as well. All right, let's see. Who's it going to be for the 76ers? With the 22nd pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Labaron Philon Jr. There it is. Wow. His slide finally falls. He gets picked at pick 22 to the 76ers. And if you're Philadelphia, you probably didn't even think that he would be available at pick 22. Like I said, was absolutely able to light it up for the Crimson Tide this past season. 22 points per game, 5 assists, 50.1 field goal percentage, 39.9 from deep. And for us here at Chat Sports, our draft experts had him as the number 3 guard and number 6 overall player in this entire draft. Versatile guard who showed he can handle the load on offense or excel as a facilitator, uses his burst as a weapon in transition, and working in the pick and roll will face defensive limitations with his size. Reminder, he is he's not very big, right? It's really the slender frame as well that really gets him in terms of, getting in trouble at the next level. Labaron Philon is 6'3", 175 pounds. So definitely going to need to add some muscle at the next level. But, he's uber athletic, is able to get to his spots on the floor, able to finish at the rim. Great three-point shooter, as you see right here, almost shooting 40% from 3 at 6.2 attempts per game, 50% from the field, 5 assists per game, 22 points per game in the SEC. The No Ceilings draft guide had this to say: on Labaron Philon Jr., an ideal lead guard prospect who does all the little things to win games while also possessing pick-and-roll craft, pull-up, scoring touch, and being a walking paint touch who can slice and dice half-court defenses. Is his ability on offense worth his defensive limitations? They're shades of, which is funny, in the No Ceilings draft guide, they said that his pro comps, Tyrese Maxey and Emmanuel Quickly. So definitely somebody who, if I'm a 76ers fan, I am pumped that we were able to get him at pick 22. His numbers at the combine: 6'6" wingspan, 8.3 foot reach, vertical of 30.5, max vert of 35, and shooting not bad at the combine: 23 to 30 off dribble, 14 to 25 spot up, 29 for 51 from deep. I think he's definitely somebody who I'd be happy if I was the 76ers. I'm cool with that. I think it's an absolute steal. I hear my guy Chip in the other studio. He's pumped around this pick, so I was hoping that the Rockets might be able to sneak up and try to get him if they trade back into round one, but not the case, as he gets picked at number 22 with the Philadelphia 76ers. Next up is going to be the Atlanta Hawks at pick 23. Lucky says, with OKC picking Aday, Mara 7'3" and 7'6" wingspan, Şengün's going to be have trouble scoring against him and Wemby. Well, I mean, no, because honestly, I think size doesn't affect Şengün as much, because we saw him up against Wemby. He didn't have as much trouble as other big men did, because he's really good at using his big body, using his frame down low, was able to really, work with his footwork, be able to go back and forth. I think, really they got Aday Mara to stop Wemby. That was the big thing for the Thunder in that one. And back to back, here we go. The pick is in. The Atlanta Hawks are selecting Zuby Ejiofor, big man from St. John's. Keep those big men going. Hopefully we can get a guard falling to the Rockets there in round 2. The 23rd pick, the Hawks are selecting Ejiofor from St. John's, a senior from Garland, Texas, 6'7", 245 pounds, scored 16.3 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 2.1 blocks, 53.6% from the field. Scouting report for Ejiofor: high energy player with great defensive versatility across all 5 positions, relentless attacking the glass on both ends, extending his range beyond finishes of the rim with huge swing skill. Rolly's rankings: big man number 7, overall number 25, so right around where the Hawks took him here at pick 23. His stats this past year: 30 minutes per game, 16.3 points per game. The rebounding, 7.3 per game. Assists, 3.5. The blocks, 2.1. Great on the defensive end. And 53.6 from the field. According to the No Ceilings draft guide, this is what they had to say on Ejiofor. When the dirty work needs to be done, this is your guy. That's not all, however, as he can also add a robust versatility to the team's offense and defense through his jack of all trades arsenal. So can do a little bit of everything, can Zuby Ejiofor, with those Atlanta Hawks, who, reminder, they are another team that has been rumored to be highly interested in Jaylen Brown. Also, according to No Ceilings, said he gives shades of Isaiah Stewart and Derek Favors. All right. Next up, the New York Knicks. The reigning NBA champions now on the clock. Who are the Knicks going to take at 24? No, the Knicks have the 24th pick. Their pick, the number 30th pick, they actually traded to the Dallas Mavericks. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. As they're now doing a whole celebration for the Knicks on the court right now, or on the. Let's see who the Knicks take here. Oh, they got the Larrea there. Rel says at this point, just keep those second-round picks. Yeah. They just did a whole light show, did all this stuff, and the Knicks traded back one pick. That's actually hilarious. The Lakers are on the clock. That's hilarious. So now it's the Lakers who are on the clock at pick 24. They did a whole ass go New York, go, like light show things. All the Knicks fans were dancing. Yeah. Jey Uso running back. Literally, they were doing the Jey Uso solo. It looked like Jey Uso's entrance for the past 2 minutes. Everybody said, "Me, Us." Damn, no, say it's just me, Us. And yeah, it's the Lakers pick now. So we'll see who Los Angeles takes here at pick 24. Still some good players. U of H's Chris Sinak, the freshman who had a really good season this past year for the Cougars, is still available. Wow. Got the Larrea right there. They also have Spike Lee sitting there. That's hilarious. The best available right now on Rolly's big board. Emmanuel Sharp, he's still available. He was in three separate mock drafts over the past 48 hours to the Houston Rockets. So definitely somebody who could be available there at 39 for Houston. Cameron Carr, the guard from Baylor, is still available. He does not look very pleased right now, waiting for his name to be called. The pick is in for the Lakers. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Make sure while you're here, go down, hit that sub button, like the video. Help me out. As we near the end of the draft, more and more likely that the Rockets trade up. Cameron Carr is the pick. The guard from Baylor finally gets selected. And he doesn't look thrilled. Definitely thought he was going to go earlier. But he is now a member of the LA Lakers as they traded up one pick with the New York Knicks. This past year for the Baylor Bears, 18.9 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 49 from the field, 6'4", 184 redshirt sophomore. Our scouting report on Carr here at Chat Sports. We had him as the number 8 guard, number 14 overall player in this year's draft class. Ridiculous size and athleticism at the guard spot and NBA-ready range. Could find success early in the NBA due to his shooting ability and off-ball cutting. On-ball defense will need a lot of work. That's probably the reason his off-ball defense, him and Labaron Philon both fell to the 20s in this year's draft. We look a closer look at his numbers this past year for Baylor. 18.9 points per game, 5.8 assists, 5.8 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.3 blocks per game, 4.9 field goal, 49.4 field goal percentage, 37.4 from deep. No ceilings. Their draft guide. This is what they had to say on Cameron Carr. One of the best athletes in the draft, shoots 37% from deep on high volume, and also is a plus passer. Why would you pass them up? And I think that's hilarious because that's what most of the league did. They passed up on this kid, and now he joins the Lakers as, somebody who could possibly, we don't know what the cards will hold for LeBron James, but they, for Cameron Carr, say shades of Trey Murphy and Tari Eason. A dead-eye shooter, relentless motor, microwave, and from the top of the key, shot 36% dead on, 40 from the right wing, 41.8 from the left wing, and was able to finish at the rim. 99th percentile in all of college basketball in terms of cutting to the rim and getting those backdoor cuts, getting those dunks backdoor. Spot up shooter, 93rd percentile. Isolation offensive player, 86th percentile. So definitely somebody who is a plus offensive player. His pros, athleticism, spot-up shooting, his passing, his cons, the mid-range scoring ability, his offensive rebounding, and his frame. I think, somebody who really, is able to kind of step in and give you some immediate minutes and immediate plus guys. Father Chris Carr played 6 seasons in the NBA, and I think he's definitely somebody who a lot of teams might end up being upset about that they passed on this kid. Now, finally, it is the New York Knicks pick. They traded back with the Lakers. Now they are up here at 25. Now, before I continue, quick word from our sponsor over at Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app out there, for good reason. Get started today with our friends over at Prize Picks. If you love watching sports and making money, best place to do both of those at the same time is our friends over at Prize Picks. It is super simple, super easy, and with the World Cup going on right now, player picks are on fire, and there's no better place to cash in while watching those sports. It's America's #1 sports picks app, our friends over at Prize Picks. It's super simple. Just pick 2 to 6 players, go more or less on their stat projections. You can also go to the team pick section where it's super easy. You know, all you got to do is you can pick winners, pick spreads, pick totals on the same app that you know and love for your player picks. My guy, Jeffrey Cooperstein, he had a fire lineup for the World Cup, and if you want to go ahead and follow him or follow me, you can do so on the social feeds feature. He has Bruno Fernandes, 1.5 goals, needs that. Kylian Mbappe, 4.5 goals. He's already been on a tear. Messi scored 3 goals in one game, had a hat trick. So I think he's doing pretty well so far as well. So this was a power play to win $60. You can get started today with our friends at Prize Picks and win some money as well. Download the Prize Picks app. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. I put that link down in the comments for you right now. As the Knicks are up. The pick is in at pick 25. Who are they going to select? A lot of people are assuming maybe they won't be able to keep a lot of their guys that were on this roster. Maybe a, Landry Shamet, a Mitchell Robinson. So do they look to replace one of those guys with a pick here at pick 25? Who are the Knicks going to take here at 25? I will say, after the 26th pick, I am being told that I'm needed to go help out elsewhere and get my stuff ready for tomorrow. So after the 26th pick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send y'all over to our main broadcast so y'all can still get insight. Y'all can still get everything on our main Chat Sports feed. If you want to get the link for that, here we go. I'm going to send y'all over here to our main Chat Sports feed here in just a moment. The Knicks are picking here. Let's see who they get. The Knicks select Sergio de Larrea from Spain, the guard. "20-year-old from Spain, 6'6", 185 pounds, 7 points a game, 2.9 assists, 44 from the field, 41 from deep, but is another guy who can shoot and was the Spanish Cup Super Cup tournament MVP, an athletic guard who is able to put it on the floor and score. I think, his numbers don't do it justice, but I think he's definitely somebody who could possibly be the steal of this draft for the New York Knicks. Great size for a guard and isn't afraid to play physical when needed. Elite shooting prospect with consistent efficiency as his volume grew. Not the quickest or most athletic, though, according to our draft guide here at Chat Sports. In 14.2 minutes per game, he was definitely somebody who didn't get a ton of the starting reps, but 7 points a game, 2.0 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 44 from the field, 2.2 threes on 41 shooting from deep. Let's see what the No Ceilings draft guide had to say on him. A guard with optimal size who has shown his versatility for 2 straight seasons at the highest levels of competition outside of the NBA, playing as an elite off-ball shooter while also creating for others with his advanced passing vision. Somebody who I think our guy here at Chat Sports, Marshall Green, will be very happy about. As the rich seem to get richer. Yeah, we have 5 more picks. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and send y'all over to our main draft stream. Make sure to join me tomorrow. Hit that sub button. Turn on your notification bell. I'll be back tomorrow for night 2 of the NBA draft where the Rockets actually have picks. But I'm going to go ahead and send you over to our main draft coverage, so I'll see you over there. I'm going to go check on them, make sure everything's good. But make sure to hit that sub button. Join me tomorrow for when the Rockets do have picks. I'm going to send y'all over to our main draft stream here at Chat Sports.